from, yeah, I got enemies. Okay, the winter's cold. Where I'm from, they try enemy. I swear the winter's cold. Where I'm from, they try to sentence me. Okay, the winter's cold. Where I'm from, we had them tenant key. I swear that pussy told. Honest, now that nigga dead to me. I got it on my own. I ain't had no one to fend for me. I never sold my soul. I will never let it get to me. In Cali with the rose. Yeah, I'm riding with a felony. She stripping on the pole. I won't let it get the best of me. I got it on my own. I ain't had no one defending me. She said she play a role. Now she trying to steal the recipe. I had to hit the road. Cause I didn't like her energy. I swear that bitch be popping mileage like a remedy. Spanish bitch, a hot tamale.
What it do, everybody? What it do? Episode 4, where there's smoke.
Quattro.
What's going on, everybody? You're gonna have to excuse me, by the way. My voice is out. It's kind of still. I mean, it's getting back to be better. No, it's that my allergies, dude. My allergies are killing me.
And you're kind of sad because you wish you were watching the Cowboys that you didn't know were on right now.
I'm missing the game right now. Detroit.
What kind of fan are you?
I mean, literally, I was gonna tell y'all we can do this tomorrow. I was like, man, the Cowboys, because we saw. So we, for those of y'all who are tuning in today, we went to go grab a quick bite, and they're playing the old like Detroit versus Cowboys game, and I was like, ooh, but then you told me, I was like, this is an old game, which it was. And then I check on my phone, and I'm like, no, actually they're playing, but the game that we were watching at Red Robin's, it's like from a previous game, so I wasn't sweating.
What was the score right now?
Right now, the Cowboys are up 7-3. So I'm okay with it as long as we can hold them off. We need this win so that way we can get the motivation to continue into the playoffs. But Cowboys are gonna do Cowboy things. You know how we do.
Dak sucks.
They need to be count, man.
Hey, did you hear about his extension though?
No, I don't follow him like that.
So his projected extension is supposed to be in the upwards of 50 to 60 million a year for probably for a 5-year.
And when did they give him that?
I haven't yet, but it's already been speculated by the inside sources.
So he got an extension like several years ago, and I thought that was terrible, and now they're doing it again. Whatever.
Well, here's my thing. I felt like he needed
Money.
You're an idiot, Jerry Jones.
People are going to say that he's proven himself worthy of this contract. But again, you know, for us, and I'm a realist. Like, I'm a Cowboy. Y'all know me. I'm a Cowboy fan. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, like, when we're playing against better teams, it's hard for us to really justify what we're going to be paying.
You don't set yourself apart.
Nah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm going to be honest, man. Like I said, I'm a Cowboy fan through and through. But at the end of the day, man, it's just what is it? It's kind of like a replica car. You ever seen those Pontiac Fieraros that look like Lamborghinis? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They get like a Pontiac Fiero and they throw the kit on it. It looks like a Lamborghini.
Just like those new Corvettes, bro.
Ooh, those are some fighting words, dude. Because they can giddy up real quick. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on right now. So, and then also, excuse my voice, the allergies have been killing me. So
we got through the holidays.
We did.
It's almost New Year's.
Yeah.
So, hell yeah. I wonder if is the New Year resolution thing even a thing? Like, I know everyone parties heavy on New Year's.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it is for people, but maybe I was gonna fall victim to it and do like a gym thing.
Right.
But I was thinking like, damn, I'm right at the time when everyone's gonna be in the gym.
Yeah.
So I wonder is that still a thing of the culture of I feel like when social media became prominent, the culture shifted with a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Is being in the gym still, or not really that, but our New Year's resolution still a big thing, or do people not really pay mind to it?
I really don't think so. It's I feel like everything this year felt so dead. Like even Christmas, bro. Christmas didn't feel like
traditions
Christmas.
are going by the wayside. Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah, I kind of feel like with everything happening, that people are definitely kind of straying away from the norm.
Yeah.
And even myself, when I did the stopping the caffeine and soda addiction that I had, people normally kind of do that with either Lent or with a New Year's resolution. And for me, it was let me just do it now so that way I can get that out of the way.
Just I'm doing it.
Yeah, because I feel like if I was going to use a New Year's resolution, it would have been an easier way to cop out of it. Everybody fails on their New Year's resolutions. For me, I was like, let me do this mid-year and
for my own reasons more.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I feel that 100% though.
Yeah, I feel like what you're saying though is correct. Social media, the presence of social media, a lot of perspectives on certain things have definitely changed for a lot of people. So, and also on top of that, I feel like with social media, it kind of glamorizes a lot of people doing whatever in vain. It's not necessarily for their own.
Not for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I'm guilty of that. I do that myself too. But I mean, at the same time, it feels good to know, like, okay, cool, I can do this. And there's people that are like for instance, when I beat the drinking a soda without drinking a soda for a month, people were like complimenting, but there were also people saying I need to do that because that's something that I'm having issues with.
Right.
And so like what's working for you and this and that and. But yeah, no, definitely like the glamorizing of it kind of turns people off too. I can see that happening. But yeah. So y'all have a good holiday though?
Yeah, I did. My family's getting like, I think it's like the sign of the times. Traditions are kind of going by the wayside more and more. And like, I feel like when the matriarch of families die, that's when you lose a lot of the traditions. So like my mom's mom died, well, like a while back, but like, ever since then, it just kind of like we've done like less and less.
Right.
And we still made it a habit of like getting together on Christmas Eve and just having like a little get together. But then like Christmas this year, I could have got together with my dad, but I just kind of I had to work. We had to work the next day.
Yeah.
So I just want to like be at home Christmas and chill, keep it low key. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
And like me and my brother, we kind of like we keep saying like every year we just kind of wanted low key. We don't care about gifts and like all this. So. Because our grandma's not there, it's like slowly but surely, then like what we kind of want is like taking over a little bit, and other people are like not fighting to keep the tradition as much anymore. Right. But yeah, so we just had like a low key, which is kind of what I like, low key Christmas. Yeah. But we got together with my dad Saturday, my mom's side Sunday, and then
there you go.
Chill. What y'all do?
I spent Christmas Eve with my like brother and my mom and my sister, and then like a few years before this, I didn't really celebrate like any holidays, not even my birthday, bro. Like, but I'm thankful
Jehovah's Witness now or what?
Nah, just you know what I'm saying.
They don't celebrate their birthdays.
But really just not, I guess, having the place to celebrate it, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just not being fortunate enough, and and like I'm thankful for my friends' families too, because I celebrated like with both of my best friends on Christmas, and it felt really nice because like they got me gifts and stuff, and like. Was not even expecting that, you know, like that. It felt nice, knowing someone's thinking about you, even though you don't know they are.
No, for sure. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. It's always cool. Like, I have friends that they have families, but they're not close with them. Yeah. And I'm like, man, like I hate the fact that they kind of spend time alone, and because there's been like studies of people that like they get seriously depressed during the holidays. Yeah. And most people, they think of holidays as like an uplifting and this and that. But
I'm a victim, brother.
Yeah, that they go through it and it's like it kind of like you feel kind of defeated. Yeah. And I'm like, oof, that's tough. So for us, we were here at the house. We were just kind of we had, of course, the kids had gifts and whatnot, and we normally go to Houston. This year, we kind of kept it here at the home. So what we would do is we would celebrate like Christmas Eve here, and then we would go to Christmas. We'd have to celebrate Christmas in Houston on both sides of the town. But this year we decided to stay home. However, now my girl and the kids are they're in Houston now, celebrating with the family afterwards right now, since they have New Year's. Well, right now they're in Christmas break, so there's just a lot more free time for them to go do that. So I'm just kind of hanging back, working and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, normally we just kind of keep it low key. We've always kind of been like that though. So it's a good Christmas though. Yeah.
So did y'all have any topics y'all wanted to get into, or do you want me to kind of lead off with what I had? Or
well, there was a couple. One of them I mentioned to you earlier, and I was kind of trying to be a little bit reserved about it. It was the Savannah Soto, the 18-year-old girl that was
my mom was telling me about that this morning.
Pregnant girl.
I haven't heard about it though.
So to kind of catch you up to speed, it's an ongoing investigation as of now. What's today, the 30th? 30th. But anyways, so she was supposed to be having a child. Her and her boyfriend were supposed to have a baby, I think almost Christmas Day. But she ended up missing. She was scheduled to be induced, but she went missing, and the family automatically knew out the gate something was going on. A few days later, they end up finding not just her, but her boyfriend as well, both in the vehicle in the medical center, which is in San Antonio, shot to death, both with a single gunshot wound to the back of the ears, from what I've heard so far. And to me, when I first heard it, I thought it was maybe a murder-suicide kind of deal. Maybe something happened and he did that. But as of now, with the details that the San Antonio police have been given, it sounds like it was they were both murdered. And so it's an ongoing investigation. It's a pretty big deal. I would almost put it to the I don't know if y'all remember when Vanessa Guillen went missing, and it turned to the soldier in Colleen. She was missing for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of escalated to that.
Where it's getting enough the coverage
attention.
of that. Yeah,
Exactly.
Whatever happened with her?
So she was actually murdered by one of her fellow soldiers.
Oh, okay.
And the reason he murdered her, and which we can't really prove the theory because he himself committed suicide allegedly, but she was going to expose him to, I guess he had a significant other, but he was having an affair. And so when
I remember hearing about that.
So she got wind of it, and once he found out that she did, he was trying to make advances towards her, and she wasn't with it. And so he was just like, all right. So he killed her. Yep. And that was another investigation in itself. But that's kind of escalated to where it's at as far as national media attention.
My question is, like, why kill the dude and the girl?
Probably to make a statement. You know what I mean? I think when you because you got to think she was.
It could have just been stupid.
She was making a statement too, though.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on who's doing it, because you got to think. If and again, the details are murky as to what the circumstances were, right? Like, as far as we know, they were murdered. But his following, or excuse me, on his social media content, it proved like they were like he was in the streets for real.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him and he had like a wad of cat.
Like, you think it'd be a better example to like leave the woman so that she can? You're like leaving a survivor so she can like tell others like, hey, I had a man and he was in the streets and like, look, they killed him, and like I'm the one to always like spread the message. And it's gonna.
You gotta be one sorry person to. My bad for interrupting.
Yeah, it shows mercy that you spared a woman, because like really.
And she was pregnant too. It's like she was fixing to have that baby.
Kind of fucked up. Like, you know how I feel. Men and women are not equal, so it's like.
Man, that's a little boy out there, man.
Yeah, you kill a man that's in the streets and made that choice. That's one thing. If he owes you money or did you wrong, and you're
if you just trying to rob him, you know what I'm saying?
Or whatever the case is, streets are the streets.
Yeah.
But when it's a woman that didn't really decide in the streets and she's with child, like, man, I don't know. And the thing is, you can leave her alive as an example. That could be an example too.
Yeah.
This kid's growing up without a dad, because look, the dad was.
Yeah.
What if it was somewhat street justified? You could say, hey, look, his dad wasn't doing business right in the streets. He grows up without a dad. And then, depending on like what angle you want to it, you can boss up and like, this is some real twisted street type shit. But like, you can even take him under your wing and say, hey, look, I killed your fucking dad. He was a piece of shit. But you want to be like him, or do you want to be like me?
Yeah.
And then the kid can like hate you and you will fuck you, or you can have like, I've heard shit like that happening. Like, it's twisted, but it's like the kid wants to be like.
Yeah. So have you seen the movie Sicarios?
Mm-mm.
In the scene, towards the end, this guy, his family's murdered by this kind of a hitman, and he goes to the guy's house. The guy that murdered his family, he goes to the guy's house, and the hitman is having dinner with his family, and the guy shows up and he has a gun. I don't know if you've ever seen this. If you've never seen the movie, it's a spoiler alert. But he goes to them. And immediately, the guy's like, all right, well, this is my day.
Yeah.
And the guy tells him, like, you took everything from me. You took my livelihood and this and that. And the guy was like, I'm sorry, it was nothing personal. It was strictly business. And he goes, yeah, but you also killed my daughter, And the guy goes, oh, yeah, your daughter. And he goes, you think she'd be proud of, you now, what you're doing and stuff like that? And the guy had the gun aimed right at the hitman. And the guy was sitting there with his family. And the hitman was like, he knew his time was up.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? Fine. You can kill me, but, this is just between you and I. The guy gets the gun and he kills his wife and his 2 boys. And then the guy was just like, at that point, like, there was like, oh my God, like, it's one thing to die, right? Like, you're going to get killed and you're like, okay, my family's good. But imagine the last moments of your life are you witnessing your wife. I feel like
and
if
you're
kids.
a real hitman, you'd be so desensitized that you wouldn't even care.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so the guy was like, you know what you took from me? I'm going to take gonna take it just like you did, but I'm gonna make you watch it. And he did it, and he killed him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if this is the same scenario, because it could have been a botched drug deal for all we know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, a message was sent. You know what I mean? Like, the streets are real.
Yeah.
And you just got to be careful with who you're associating yourself with out there, because, man, ain't no telling, I mean, death is always around the corner. And if you're putting yourself out there on social media with all this kind of bullshit and thinking that it's not going to catch up, it will.
No, it
With that
catches
being
up to
said,
you.
karma's real, and if these people are playing, like, when you lower it to like killing women and kids, you're
Yeah.
taking all the rules back. You think that girl doesn't have a family that cares about her? Maybe she might have someone real that wants to now retaliate. And like when you say there's no rules and you just kill anybody, then her family's gonna feel some type of way, and they're like, all right, well, there are no. Maybe they won't, but maybe they could say, all right, there are no rules. We're gonna come after you now.
Right.
So I'm not in the streets at all.
Right.
But if you're in the streets, there has to be some sort of code, or there's just absolute chaos.
Well, remember I told you her
it's
younger
like,
brother was murdered last year. So
something's
Savannah,
going on,
the girl that was murdered
like
with her boyfriend, her younger brother was killed last year. And
Like gunshot or no?
yeah, he was shot up. And the reason he was shot up was because allegedly he set up another individual, her brother set up another guy to get robbed. And the guy was like, nah, fuck that. And so when that happened, the guy set up that dude. And when he set him up, he went up and killed him. And I think 7 months later, they ended up arresting the guy. And at the courtroom, whenever they were being like during the trial, the guy that killed her brother, I think he did something to them, and there was an all-out brawl. Like, it's on YouTube. They straight up went after him, because they were pissed, obviously. But like, again, like you mentioned, the streets are real.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking that you're gonna be in, do your little dance, and get out, and not gonna be touched, I mean, that it can not only can it affect you, but it can affect your loved ones. So you just got to be careful with what you're doing out there.
Not for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of one of the topics I wanted to talk about. It's still, again, right now, as of what we speak right now, the investigation is still ongoing. They don't have any. They have two individuals that are are considered suspects, because the vehicle that they found the bodies in, there's a surveillance video of that vehicle and a truck pulling up next to each other. And so they think maybe.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yes.
And the dude they got out of the truck, he was like wiping the handles down and everything.
So, yeah, there's no. The police don't even know if they were killed like in the car or whatever. They could have been killed somewhere else, and then the bodies were dumped. But the bodies were not found I think the bodies were found like 3 or 4 days after they had already been murdered, sir. Again, right now, it's kind of up in the air as to what's going to happen. But I mean, ultimately, these kind of stories, I'll tell you right now, it's going to become a Netflix movie.
Could be, yeah.
It's going to be a series for sure.
Not for sure, bro.
It's crazy, though.
Netflix they dipping their toes and everything.
Stay out them streets, man. And not to play with.
Yeah. There's gotta be.
They're just different.
There's gotta be rules. Like, I don't know if there's any rules.
The
The streets are always grimy, but it's like there has to be some kind of rules. I don't know if there's OGs.
There's just
rules
lack of
anymore.
morals and code nowadays, bro. No one cares
Like,
about that.
absolute lack of morals and code. So I just hope, like, streets are not good, period. But god damn, if there's no code or rules, it's chaos. So anyway, I don't. Y'all have anything else to say on that? Or?
No, just be careful when you're out there.
Be careful, man. Watch out for pocket watchers and the real ones.
Yeah. Did y'all have any? Do you have another topic or?
I saw the Gran Turismo movie, but I don't know if y'all want to talk about that.
Was it good?
It was real good. It's real good. It's kind of. Have you ever seen the movie Never Back Down?
Yeah.
With the fighting movie?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that movie back then was hard.
Imagine that with like a Fast and Furious kind of tied together, moving in together.
Okay.
It's a pretty good movie. So real quick, the movie's about Nissan, and Nissan was trying to find a way to like to make it a name brand, kind of like because for a while it seemed like it was kind of on the hush hush.
Yeah.
And so what they wanted to do was kind of create like this marketing campaign. And so what they did was, there's this game called Gran Turismo, which if you were gamed back in the day, you played at least once. I played Gran Turismo 2. That was my entry to it. And it's a simulator game in the sense that, you play Need for Speed or, these regular,
Forza,
Cruising USA.
yeah.
Well, Forza is kind of Gran Turismo, but when you think of like Need for Speed or Cruising USA, these games, they're just racing games. You press a gas and it just goes 150, this and that. Gran Turismo was a simulator, meaning that the creator of the game spent years figuring out, things about each of the vehicles in the game. So like, how touchy is the steering wheel? How active are the brakes this and that? Like, how does a motor, like everything to detail was in this game, and this kid ended up. I mean, he was like one of the best players, and was selected to be the candidate to drive for Nissan and like essentially Gran Turismo, because that was the game that he grew up on. And long story made short, he ends up becoming, you know, an amateur gamer, if you will, turned into a professional racer.
Dude, that's sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Think about that, dude.
No, that's dope.
Like, it's one of those things where it's like a dream. Like, imagine, like, you know, you're good at football,
yeah,
but you never went to college. You know, you didn't go through the rigorous thing, but you knew you can throw or you can run and this and that, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on the starting lineup for, you know, the Cowboys offense. That's kind of what the equation is to it. But it's a really good movie. It's very inspiring.
I'm probably gonna check that out.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's really, it's not boring at all. But you know, for those of y'all who are looking for a good movie to watch, I would definitely give Gran Turismo a look. It's currently on Netflix, so
yeah,
check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay. Do you want to touch on the war?
Oh God.
It's like, where do we start? That was it.
I told you I didn't want to talk about it. I mean, we'll talk about it, but
we could talk. I feel like we should come at it a little bit more planned if we want to talk about it. You know,
I don't think so. I think we were talking about this before we went out to dinner, and I think the main thing we were getting out of it is like,
which war are we talking about specifically, so that way people know?
The Israel war.
Right.
It's just like whatever y'all are doing, what y'all are gonna do, but y'all act like y'all. They want to act like they're holier than thou. Like, you know, when Russia invades Ukraine or whenever these other Middle Eastern countries invade or whatever, they're like, oh, how could they? Humanitarian this, humanitarian that.
Yeah.
Evil this, evil that. But when they do the same type shit, they're like, oh, you know, we got God on our side. That's bullshit. You know, y'all are just as wrong. And it's, you know, United States invades, it's wrong. Russia invades, it's wrong. Israel war is almost always wrong, so it's all wrong. I'm not trying to say Israel's worse than others, but I'm saying when you are worse when you try to play holier than thou, and that's my main issue with them is like, you know,
like we're not doing things bad.
They're doing bad things too. You know, so
yeah. I mean, yeah.
And it's and they all another thing about them is it kind of goes in with this, but they play the victim card heavy. How can you be, if you believe in God, there's no victims, so. That's one. And then they believe they not only believe in God, most of them, I mean, that kind of goes with the whole thing. They believe they're God's chosen people.
Yeah.
If you're God's chosen people, you're not a victim. So it's kind of a weird thing that they're trying to like trick everyone into feeling sorry for them and really manipulate the way our mind works with, we're God's chosen people and we're victims and all this preferential treatment to where it's almost like they want to try to trick us into thinking they can do no wrong.
Right.
And it's like, no, everyone can be wrong. Everyone can do wrong. And Jewish is one of the most protected classes. You can see the least and discuss them the least. And when you don't discuss things and don't touch them and everything's hush hush, that leaves room for problems to arise when you don't discuss things. So if, you know, can't talk about Jews. Well, fuck that. I'm going to talk about them. I'm not going to hate on them, but I'm going to talk about them. If you say I can't, then fuck you. And that's my whole feeling on it. But it's not about, I'm not here to hate on anyone just to hate on them. So.
But you haven't brought up Palestine, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing wrong too. But like I said, Israel's the one playing the victim card. That's my issue with them.
Yeah.
You know, they're, you know.
But to be fair, so is Palestine, right?
Yeah, they're doing it too.
The Palestinian people, yeah. I mean, they are a victim though. They've literally I think like their unemployment rate is at like 80% right now, and it's just growing. Like they're fixing to have literally a whole country like nothing, and it's like what else? Who else? Like who else is that gonna happen to after this? It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I already told y'all. Like for me, I can't. I have a hard time talking about a topic that I'm not well educated enough on, because this literally goes back thousands of years. I mean, literally thousands of years to biblical times, and probably even before that. For me, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I see what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, to me, it feels like it's no different than when, you know, like Russia and Ukraine are going at it. Just because, you know, like for instance, you know, Russia's trying to get back Ukraine to become its own.
The problem is that when they're saying they're God endorsed, that's
every country believes that though.
But not everyone says it blatantly like them, even if they believe it. They say it and they like stand on that shit. It's like that's
so does
dangerous.
Putin. Putin does that. He's a Christian. You know
I've
that,
never
right?
heard him say that we're God's chosen people. No, bro.
Google it. Google it.
You're the
he's
one
a
making
Christian.
the claim. You Google it.
I already did. It's already.
Okay, find it to me and send it to me within the next 24 hours. And if you do, I'll put the clip in this video right here.
Okay.
And I'll put the link in the description. But
You don't think he's Christian?
I didn't say that. I don't think he said that Russia is God's chosen people and that the Russians are God.
That's not what I said.
That's what I said.
Okay, but that's
because
not
that's the claim Israel makes. So is anyone else making that claim than them?
We're talking about two different topics.
No, we're not. We're
You
talking
just
about
you
who's
said
making
every
the claim
country
that they're
every
God's
country
chosen
believes
people.
that God is on their side and this and that,
and
right?
But who makes the claim the boldest? And
Everybody
just because you
does.
think Russia thinks that doesn't mean they do. You're just speculating that they think that.
What?
That they think God's on their side.
Do we not think as Americans that God's on our side too?
I don't know. I think we're pretty split. As
I'm
a
pretty
country.
sure every time
Whereas
we talk
all
about
Jewish,
what is
to
every
be Jewish,
sign
you have
out?
to
What is
believe in
every
God.
sign out?
We're split as Americans. As
Right,
far
but
as
that's not what I'm
religion.
talking about. Everything.
So
and
they all believe that God chooses people over here. We have atheists, Hindu, Buddhists. We have a bunch of different people
Where?
over there. In America, but in Israel, they're all Jewish, and they all believe that they're God's chosen people.
But do you think America is more of a Christian country? Yes or no?
Then what? Israel?
I'm asking in general. Like, do you think Christians, the United States is more of a Christian country?
I don't know, honestly.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, we do. Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
What was
And
your point?
the point is this: like every country believes that God is on their side. We literally have it in our Pledge of Allegiance. We literally have it in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, but we don't say we're God's chosen people. That's different.
Does it say it in the Bible
What?
that if Israel or
I don't
Israelites?
know. I don't care if it does or not. The Bible doesn't fucking tell me what's right or wrong. I'll
But-
pee on that fucking book if I have to. I don't give a shit.
That's fine, but I mean,
Bible
if it
says
says
not every man
It can be right and it can be wrong.
is a child of God, but every man can become a child of God.
well, I guess for me, like I said, my thing is this: is like, again, as far as the war is concerned, I can't really give my 2 cents on it because, and this is not me backing out or capping out, like but it's literally me telling you, like, I haven't researched enough to me be
Fair
like,
enough.
okay, because truthfully, I think if we were to sit here and really digest the full, like, to the scale what Russia or Israel and Palestine has gone through, we would be here for hours.
No, yeah. I just think they want to scare people about talking about it, and that's bullshit.
I don't think. I mean, maybe so.
Yeah.
But I think in order for anyone, and including myself, like to really talk about it, you have to know what's up. Like that's
Like-
me. That's like me talking about basketball, and I don't know shit about the game.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
But I will say though, like, I know, like I said, people go hard on Israel.
I just to put it into more depth, like, yeah, Ukraine and Russia are fighting, but
Yeah.
the losses, like the actual death toll from there
Yeah.
is like nowhere near the death toll of Israel and Palestine's right now.
Wait, what do you mean in Russia?
Yeah, like that war, there's been like so few deaths versus how many deaths have already happened in the Israel war, and the Russian and Ukraine war has gone on way longer. I want to say it's going on 2 years, right?
What for Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah.
But I think those are like more tactical. Because I think with Israel and Palestine, it's a personal thing. So anybody's.
Yeah, but they're using tactics of freaking.
No. I know, I get that, but what I'm saying is like for the Israel and Palestine, it's more tactical. Like it's anyone's game. Like whoever's in the street, it's fair game. And in Russia and Ukraine, I don't think it's that necessary. I think they're going for the military. Is there people that are civilians that get caught in the crossfire? Yeah, but I feel like with this,
But
Israel,
even like military losses, I swear like the numbers have not like it hasn't been that big of a news for that war versus this. Like in so many civilians,
I haven't
honestly
followed
don't
it.
even think a lot of the military on each side have even died. It's just been a lot of civilians.
I don't know, man. I like I
Like
said,
I know that some have, yes, but
in the beginning, I think
Excuse me.
for Russia and Ukraine, I was invested in it in the beginning, just like the Israel and Palestine thing, like or at least this last conflict. But I feel like when those wars, it's like they kick off and there's boom, 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 and then after a while, you start hearing less and less and less of
Yeah.
the war, and it just becomes. I don't want to say it's nothing because it is something, but
We dull to it.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like the thing is with like censorship, like the U.S. is backing Israel, so it's like, of course, they don't want a lot of fucking bad shit to go out that Israel's doing right now, because then it makes us look even worse. Because
do you think Palestine's not backed up?
not as good as the U.S. can back people up.
Well, yeah, U.S. is a superpower, but
Yeah.
do you think Palestine is like out there just kind of by themselves?
No, because a lot of their surrounding countries are like, hey, bro, because it's their people too. Like it's Muslims overall that are getting
right. But you don't think they're getting help from like
there's bad Americans.
You don't think they're
too.
getting help from Iran and all that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're getting
so they're not by themselves.
But they were at the beginning. Iran had to step in because no one else was helping them.
Well,
so it was like
same thing with Ukraine.
What do you mean?
No, who's helping Ukraine?
U.S.
Yeah, same thing. So it's like,
but like if you look at it that way, I bet you more like France and UK are probably helping.
Well, yeah, because I don't think as of now Ukraine is not part of NATO.
Don't you think that's hypocritical that we're helping out these countries that are at war?
Versus what?
And we're trying to censor this like bad stuff that we're doing and they're doing. Like we're just gonna highlight Russia and
well, those are the two
Muslims.
big.
It's like, okay, like.
But those are two superpowers that you just have to talk about. You know what I mean? What were you saying though?
We didn't want Russia and Cuba in the Cold War because we knew they were going to put nukes there and shit right by us.
Mm.
So like we didn't want Russia hyping up Cuba back in the day with Castro, but we're okay with us propping up other, like we don't want other countries having proxy wars and like doing that shit, but we're okay with us doing it. It's the same thing with it's like the United States and Israel are like the biggest hypocrites. They'll do the same shit, but when other countries do it, they're like, y'all are evil for doing this. It's like, well, we do it too.
But do we do it out of like
it doesn't matter.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you.
Justify
hold on. Let me ask you those. Does the U.S. as of now? I'll say now, as of modern times, do we go trying to invade like old territories and stuff like that? Do we try to like claim like, oh, hey, this is ours?
No, but we're helping other countries do it.
Right, but I'm asking about us specifically.
I mean, it could be defined as us.
We've done that
because our superpower is our military.
We've done that our whole history, and when there's no more to do over here, we started doing it other places. Like how since 2001, we have occupied a country in the Middle East for 23 years.
Afghanistan.
And others.
Okay.
And many others. That's not natural, right?
Right.
So it's like we are doing it, just not the exact same way. Not just because it's not right by us doesn't mean we're not doing it. We are still doing it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think we're doing there, though?
I have no idea.
You think we're trying to keep?
I think it's bigger than what we know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but as far as I know, we haven't fought any battles on our countryside in hundreds of years.
That's to keep the people disillusioned that it can't happen here too.
Yeah.
Because when it does, it'll be that much worse.
I think
we're not hardened to war.
Why haven't we been attacked though yet? What do you think?
It's by design. They have kept us from being attacked.
Yeah. Who?
The people, the powers that be. See, I think everyone in the world works together.
Okay.
Maybe most people probably don't think that. Like I think they all work together, and like a lot of the stuff is like
good and
shit.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Like all the 53 of the strongest 53 countries, all the ones with any significant military power and like first world countries, they all have a treaty, an agreement that the Antarctic, you can't go there unless it's military or scientific, and you have to get like hella clearance. Like normal people just cannot fucking go there. So I'm saying that to say like we think these countries don't work together, but when there's something that's real serious, they fucking do real quick. And like if they weren't going to work together, one country would just say, we're breaking this treaty. We're going to use it for our advantage as military, whatever. But like, they haven't broken that since World War II when it started. So it's like, they all work together. Shit's all going on. It's a common collective. And like,
let me ask you this. If there are higher powers out there, like, right. And I'm not saying they're not, but let's just say for this purpose that there are, why haven't they jumped in already? Why haven't they closed the iron gate and said, all right, guys, this is the new world that we're in. You're going to have to either go with it or not. What's keeping them from just doing that right now?
A lot of people would... I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because I'm like,
here's the thing. A lot of people would accept it if they knew the absolute truth.
Well, here's the thing, right? So television hasn't been around for too long.
What would happen if everyone found out that it was like legitly found out without they could not deny it?
We'd lose our minds.
That's why they're not going to do it. They want us to continue. They like us the way we are now. We're like zombies basically. We like go to work and don't question
Josh,
shit.
Is like they're controlling the divide and conquer. It's like if they just came out and did that and had everyone try to be on like. It would give us time to all be on the same wave.
Have you ever seen
Bugs
Life?
You think we would?
Bugs Life and all the ants.
I think most people
It'll never happen. But if Bugs Life, all the ants get together, they can fuck the grasshoppers down.
Yeah.
That's how it'd be. If we all got together, we outnumber them so far, but we would fuck them down.
Saying. Like if they just rolled out the plans right away, and they're like the actual people like all came together. I'm not saying it would happen, but like
if it did,
if you give them the recipe,
and
they're gonna be like, we don't like that recipe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then it's just gonna trickle down.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I feel like it's like they have all their if if there is like an elitist group that's running the show, like, you know,
Yeah.
I feel like it's like if they went ahead and did it now, like
People wouldn't care.
I wouldn't say, oh no, people would care, but like, what would we do?
We outnumber them like hundreds.
But we wouldn't know who we're.
one.
We would be fighting ghosts because we wouldn't know who they are.
We could find out pretty quick.
I don't know.
We find out who all they weren't, right?
I mean,
I don't
really,
know,
it's
man.
just who controls all the banks. Really, that's really what it comes down to. Really, just control the money. That portion right there.
I think it's more than that. I think the money thing, because money is.
That's what makes the world go round.
Nah, I don't think so. Money's a tool. It's not like, you know, it's not like what we look at it as. I mean, when you control like a food source or, you know, like resources,
Yeah.
that's where the money's at. That money.
But we made, I know, like we made money.
So it wouldn't necessarily like the banks. If they collapse, it's like, okay, great. Now we're out of money. What do humans need? Well, we need food. We need water. You know, we need like, you know, we can't live in like a swampy area. Like we have.
Yeah.
Those are the things that are, you know.
Most humans are such cowards now. Fear is the real power. That's what you saw during COVID.
Yeah.
Fear is the real currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Misinformation, and they anyone that goes against them, they say it's misinformation. But they give you misinformation and fear and repetition, and that's the real fucking.
Do you
power.
think that's what?
It's like now you think.
Do you think that came from them? The COVID? Do you think it came from?
No, it's
the
always
elitists?
been used.
No, but I'm saying though. Do you think this was a plan of action from them?
I don't have any definite proof, but if I had to say yes or no, yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't know.
Because they planned before COVID, they had a thing. I forgot what it's called. I can probably look it up and put it in the description.
Yeah.
But it was like something like Plan 2020 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it was like roughly 5 years before COVID. I'll get some details and I'll put the link in the description. I'll try to flash something on the screen.
Yeah.
But it was basically Bill Gates and like other people that are like smart, and they were doing like a scenario of basically like what if something just like COVID
TED
happened.
Talk, his famous TED Talk.
No, there was no.
It was
actually,
something. It was
there was a
related
Netflix,
to that, but
there
it
was
was
a Netflix.
Yeah.
It was where they got together.
I heard about that. It was
and
like
it's like
years
how are you
before.
gonna say
Yeah.
that it was basically
it
like
happened.
COVID.
But here's the thing. Is it
And
is
then-
it really
and then-
that new though?
No, here's my follow up to that though. That might on your own be like, oh well, you have like tons of.
Yeah.
I hate that you can plausible deniability because that sounds like a fucking
Well,
dick
it's not
sucker, but
that.
it is plausible deniability. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
But when COVID hit, and you can't deny this, COVID, you could tell someone thought about how they could get the most out of it, and the most negative out of it.
Yeah.
Because they had. They were so vague about it, and they used the right amount of fear and the right amount of vagueness that they were able to shut down businesses and force people to fight against, because they knew some conservative and like free thinker hippies were going to be anti-vax, and then most people weren't. They knew they could play those people against each other. They know they could shut down the government. They know they could almost force a vaccine mandate, mask mandate. They just knew all these things, and like they accomplished so much. They fucked the economy down. Like it was such a rollout. It was like so many things got accomplished that were not good. There's no way that they didn't know that was going to happen. You'd have to be a moron to believe that they didn't think that was going to
But
happen.
historically speaking,
Right?
we've been through these though.
But the way they capitalized it, you see what I'm saying? Like when it happened, they had all these negative things to capitalize on it like so quickly.
But was that the first time like they've capitalized on something like that? You don't think there's been other things that they've capitalized on before?
No, but that's not a
Capitalism, baby.
Well, yeah,
That's
capitalism.
not a good
but-
thing. Just because they've
I
done it
didn't say
before
it was
doesn't
a
mean it's
good
good,
thing.
and doesn't mean they
But
didn't
it wasn't
plan
like the first time the world has experienced a pandemic like that, though.
Doesn't mean it's good though. It doesn't mean they didn't plan it.
History has a strange way
Just
of
because
repeating
they've done it
itself.
before doesn't mean it's good.
Did they do it before?
You just said pandemics have happened before and they've capitalized
Yeah,
on
but
them
it
before.
wasn't-
So just because they've done it before, does that mean it's good?
I mean,
Come on,
I didn't say it was
Josh, bro.
good, but my
Okay,
thing is this:
okay.
history has a way of repeating itself.
So
right?
let's be better with the way we react to it, not worse. Goddamn.
react to it. Did you know how to react to COVID?
Yes.
What did
No
you-
one wanted to fucking listen to me, dude.
What do you mean? What was your
Let the people decide. I damn sure knew don't close down businesses.
okay?
If you don't make masks
Mm-hmm.
or vaccines mandatory. Let people decide for themselves. Don't force any laws behind it.
How many pandemics did you go through?
None. But
Okay.
hold on. That we talked about this already, but that
Yeah.
vaccine
We're not
Was the
talking we're not talking vaccine. We're talking COVID right now. That's
But
two
that-
totally different things.
But the vaccine was the quickest rush out ever, and So there was all this shit about COVID. They didn't know the transmission. And if you don't know, because they went back and forth on like masks are good, masks are not good. It's airborne, it's not. If y'all don't know anything at first, just say you don't know and say, but don't pass legislation when you don't know. And that's what they did.
Okay, aside from the vaccine though, did you know what to do during COVID?
I just told you.
No.
Don't close down businesses. That is something knowing what to do, right?
Did you know what to do? Did you know what the protocols were? Did you know any of it?
No, but I knew what not to do.
Everybody,
right?
Everybody,
right? Do we know not to close down businesses?
No, everybody closed.
Why do you not know that?
What do you mean?
You think it's right for the government to close down the business, to force people to close down businesses? Why is that the right thing to do?
Let me ask you this.
Answer that question. Why is that the right thing to do?
If there's a,
it's cock shit.
If there's a disease that breaks out in a food factory, in a manufacturing company that's in different places, do they shut those down? Yes or no?
If there's a what?
Like a disease, like a bacteria outbreak, right?
Yeah, but they know what the spread, how it's spreading, and they know
do they close them down?
It.
Yes or no?
Yes, when they know how it spreads. They didn't know how COVID spread.
So what was the protocol then?
Wait till you know, bro.
There was a lot of stuff that was going on. Nobody knew what was going on, dude.
So they used fear to capitalize off that. And even when they knew, they still were trying. People had to fight. This lady had to file a lawsuit to get her business open back up somewhere in North Texas.
Yeah.
And the Governor Abbott had to back her up.
Right.
It's like, bro, we shouldn't have to get to the governor to back some lady in some county in North Texas so she can open her hair salon when we know. By that time, we knew.
Right.
See, it's like at first we didn't know. Then once we knew, they were still sticking hardcore to this.
Hindsight's always 20/20, though.
But you're not paying. Once we knew in the time, they still were sticking to it, even when they were wrong.
But did we conform or did we break out of that?
It took too long for us to break out of it.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
It took.
We were in lockdown for like 6 fucking months. That's bullshit.
Could we still be on lockdown? Yes or no? We still technically could if
everyone's a fucking faggot.
That has nothing to do.
Yes, it fucking does.
That has nothing
grow
to do
a pair.
with it. That has nothing to do with it.
Yes, it does. When the death rate is the same as the flu, grow a pair.
Did you? Well,
kill yourself.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Nobody.
Do you want to be a slave?
A
God
slave?
damn, dude.
Really, you're gonna go to that?
Yeah.
My thing is this. Nobody, look, it's easy. It's again, and it's easy for us to go, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? At the time, dude, we didn't know what was going on.
We did know. Y'all just didn't want to listen to people that knew. Y'all were telling them they were dead wrong.
I agree with you. Yeah. But my point is this.
So when this kind of stuff happens again and people are questioning the government, maybe y'all should fucking listen instead of just being, yeah, y'all are wrong.
The government would never.
Bro.
Has the government...
They had no evidence of what that shot would do because we knew nothing. Yet they almost tried to make it mandatory, and they were pushing it as the right thing to do. And they were pushing it
Wait, you
heavily.
said almost made it mandatory, right? You said almost made... So it wasn't.
They were this close to passing a bill where if your company...
So it wasn't.
Did they pass that bill where if your company had more than 100 people, you had to get it? They were talking about it. And they were pushing it so strong in society. Mm-hmm. The president and other fucking celebrities, which weak-minded people look up to as role models, culture was saying, if you don't get the vaccine, you're a bad person. Right. Was that the mentality of society?
Sure, yeah.
People were losing their jobs if they didn't
because there was no evidence of what it can do.
But
how can I be a bad? Hold on. How can I be a bad person if we don't even know what it does? I don't want to take it because I don't know what it does. You're a bad person. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
and that's what they were saying.
Yeah,
that's wrong. We knew it was wrong at the time. It was bullying. That was large-scale bullying.
I will not disagree with you on that.
And the people that knew better had to eat it. So we can agree.
I will not disagree with you on that at all.
Most of the time that I agree that you fucking.
Oh,
you're like no.
Well, no, but
most of the time,
but it's easy to talk shit when it already passed.
Most of the time, the people that know better, like the conspiracy theorists and like the people that don't trust the government, they were the most calm because you heard about it some, but you didn't really hear about people like wild and acting ass.
Yeah.
Like over the mask. You heard about it here and there. Like you did hear about it. But like you could have heard about it a lot more, believe me. Like there was a lot of people that I know that like hated the fuck out of that and just like ate it and just like dealt with it because they didn't want to be an asshole.
So let me ask you something. And I'm very curious. Our line of work is very dangerous.
Life is dangerous, bro.
Life is dangerous. Yeah. But specifically as electricians, we tiptoe around stuff that's a little bit more dangerous than most people. Not to say that there's jobs that are more or less dangerous, but my point is this. Let me ask you something. Do you follow everything when it comes to safety protocols and everything for work?
No.
So why is it that, that is okay, but like vaccines and shots and stuff like that, you're indifferent on that?
I'm less cautious on both. What do you mean? Right? I'm like more like disagreeable in both. Like I'm not as safe with electric as I should be, and I'm not as safe with the vaccine as like everyone else. I'm like more unsafe in like a lot of areas.
Yeah, but if you see somebody like wearing a mask, like in an attic, are you gonna call them, some derogatory term and be like, dude, you're a loser and this and that?
No, because I see the benefits. There was not a necessarily benefit to the mask, and like there was even research that said if you were wearing the mask, if you were around someone for more than 15 minutes, the mask basically didn't do anything because the air would seep around there and get into the room.
I saw those.
So okay, so like, and they were not. You had to like do a little bit of research to find that. They were not saying that outright. Like, hey, the masks are effective. Like, if you're gonna run in to go get to-go food or something. Yeah. But if you're going to like a get together and you're wearing the mask for 2 hours, it's pointless. They were not. Were they saying that often?
Yeah. I think you're missing the point that I'm trying to make.
Which is what?
We're around a lot of dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
But that doesn't affect you as much as like the COVID. Like for instance, we have
because they're not trying to pass like.
But hold on, what I'm saying is this: if life was that, like if it was that much of a big deal to you, and I'm doing this because I know it is.
What are you trying to? I don't get what you're trying to prove.
Like we touch cancerous shit all the time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't bother you.
I know. Neither does being out during COVID. I didn't care. I wasn't bothered by it.
So, like, what's the big deal, though?
The big deal is trying to force me to take a vaccine. I don't like precautions. Don't force me to take a precaution.
So, if somebody told you,
right?
hey, if you're going to
force me to wear a seatbelt,
if you're going to put adhesive around something with the glove, are you going to put it on? Yes or no?
What?
If you're going to touch, like, if you're going to have, like, an adhesive, right? That's pretty dangerous. And they say, hey, you need to put gloves on that shit.
It depends. Sometimes at work, y'all wear gloves. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't wear gloves as much as y'all. Sometimes if it gets real bad, I will. But, like, sometimes y'all put on gloves before I do. I just don't go with safety precautions as quickly as the next person. Same thing with COVID. I didn't go with the safety precaution as quickly.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I guess to me, it's kind of like
I'm just not as cautious as most people.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with
fine.
it. Some people
give us the goddamn option. Don't
but you just said
it
wasn't. You said it was almost mandatory, so it did become an option. Yes or no?
But they were trying to make it seem like you're a bad person.
But it was an option, though, right?
Barely.
But it was an option.
They were trying to make it seem like you were a bad person.
But like Aaron Rodgers had to freaking fake getting a vaccine
because they weren't making it seem like
too.
Did they make it seem like it was you were a bad person if you didn't do it? That's the thing.
Like, so
but here's the thing: with their circumstances were different, and I'll tell you why. Because
my buddy lost his job because he physically would not get it. He was like, "You can't force me to do this, and if you do,
don't shame me when there's no evidence." Is that fucked up? Is that fucked up?
With what?
When you shame someone when there's no evidence.
As far as what?
There was no evidence on what the vaccine did, and they were trying to shame people into getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, why? How can you shame me that I'm not doing what's right and good when you have no evidence?
Kind of back to the fear thing. You can like base this off fear, but like I got it because I want to travel the world, and there are some places that are like, hey, you can never come here unless you have the vaccine.
See, they lied.
America's one of them.
Yeah, and you get what I'm saying though. Like, just off that alone, I thought that I would never be able to travel the world. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
Stuff like that, and like.
But you still.
But I still got it, and I'm not saying that they're bad nor good. I don't know. Yeah. But we have to get them for schools and stuff.
To me,
there's other mandatory vaccines that are good and beneficial.
To me, I just feel like I said it with like Logan's point. It's like, yeah, I told you this and that. It's like, yeah, we could say that shit about everything in the past 20 years from now, or even 5 years from now. It's so easy to do that shit, but in the moment, nobody knows what's going on.
Yes, they do, bro.
Nobody knows what's going on.
I knew what was going on.
Maybe you had an inkling, but you did not know what was going on.
I knew that they were lying. Is that better than not knowing that they were lying?
No.
Yes, it was.
Well, it's not. It's better or not?
It's better that I knew they were lying because I was able to make the informed decision whether I wanted to take the shot or not.
Yeah.
I said, I can tell that they are lying and using fear. I'm going to make my own decision and not do it.
Yeah.
And other people, like, they took advantage of, didn't know any better, just thought they were doing the right, and they made it seem like the right thing to do. So people that didn't have time to, I have time to look into the shit, like eat this shit up because I don't have kids, and like my hobby is knowing what the fuck's going on and what's all that. Like I understand people don't have time to spend on this kind of shit.
Right.
Those kind of people that just live their lives and have so much shit going on, they can't focus on this shit. They took advantage of those kind of fucking people because they got on the news and said this is the right fucking thing to do. And Biden, the president, saying, enough is enough. You've held out long enough, but. It's just like, bro, that's so irritating. Like, you have no evidence. You're going to shame people. It's like I could say the same thing over and over, but, like, yeah, that's crap, dude. It's bull crap.
Yeah.
And now I've had so many people that are like, yeah, I kind of regret, like, doing it because I felt like it was the right thing to do, and I just didn't know. I just don't want there to be a future thing in the future. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even have to be illness-related.
Right.
It can be any kind of movement. I don't want them to have another movement out of fear and ignorance that they push a lot of people into, and then later on people look back and be like, ooh, that was like Black Lives Matter. I think it wasn't that important, but I bet you there's a lot of black people you could talk to now and be like, that were part of Black Lives movement and were like heavy in it, and talk to them now and be like, you know, did you see how like black people do need a lot of improvement in their life, but like that movement wasn't organic and you kind of got duped, and they would probably say, there'd probably be a fair number that would say, yeah, like if I looking back, like I did it. I want people to like, when this kind of thing comes around again and there's a movement where they like trick you and use fear and hype and the mob mentality.
I think that was a real thing.
It was mob mentality and fear.
I think that was a real thing. I think that movement was I think that was a real movement, right. But I think it may have been perverse by the Black Lives Matter. I think it was perverse by
like from the get-go, bro. Like I even had, I would say, an ex-family member. Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah, bro, I donated money to Black Lives Matter just to say I did. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
and then what happened at the end of it? It was they turned out that they were utilizing that money to buy like I think it was the creator of the movement ended up buying like mansions and stuff like that instead of like actually using it.
But correctly. Like those were the type of people that were already funding it too. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like
my thing is this is like I think there are purposes behind movements, whether they're good or bad.
When is the last time the government did something good or there was a good movement?
A good movement, or
they lied and it was they lied to help us, it was like a good lie.
What do you mean a good lie?
Just they never do anything. When's the last time the government's done something good?
I mean, I'm sure they have their little stuff. No, I'm serious. I
get you on that, but I think really can't like name anything like just.
Y'all suck.
Freaking astounding! Like, oh yeah.
Keep voting. I'm sure it'll get better.
I'm saying is this: the reason that we don't murder each other is because there is a system in place that keeps us from doing it.
We still murder each other.
We still do, but I mean, I'm sure that if that system was not in place, there'd be a lot more murders and a lot more chaos than we do have now.
Murder is already illegal, so do you think it's the laws that stop these things or a person's heart?
Yeah, I think people are like, man, I could murder this person.
It's a person's heart?
I could murder this person, but then I'd have to go to jail for like 50 years. Do I want to do that?
I don't think normal people are thinking that.
Oh, I know plenty of people like that are ready to go off on somebody, but then they're like,
they think they are because there's no threat of actual physical violence. Be like, oh, I'm ready to kill this person. It's like, dude, you wouldn't even have a fist fight. Chill out.
Yeah. Why not though?
We're just so desensitized. Like we're so far removed. We have such a cushy, soft society, and everything's so safe. That's why women are like wild and they don't think they don't need a man because everything's so safe. They can get by without a man, and like that's why there's a lot of weak men. Things are so freaking safe. With like technology and like everything's so easy and safe and automated or like mechanical, like power windows and all kinds of shit. Everything's so convenient and easy and like anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But, we all want to get into. I had a
Can I say one thing?
What's that? Go ahead.
And this is to one of Josh's favorite players. Happy birthday, LeBron James.
Oh, dang, today's his birthday?
Yeah.
Okay.
The flop, you mean?
I'll be honest with you. I feel like there's worse people that flop more than him.
But he has a higher standard, though.
I feel like he's one of the top ones in the league, kind of.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, because he has that he wears the crown in the game, like, when he does it, it's to magnitude.
It matters more.
Yeah. But here's my thing. Look, as much as... Look,
I don't think he flops that much. I'm not gonna
lie. But when he does, boy, he sells it.
Sometimes it's kind of bad when he does. Yeah,
but my thing is this: if LeBron was to retire like this at the end of the season, I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah,
because he's kept the game on his shoulder. Dude, those are some heavy weights to have. He's
won a championship in the East, won a championship in the West.
Whether you hate him or not, like you can't say that the game didn't go on without.
Yeah, like bro, look I don't know. He's created. He had to fight multiple eras of basketball. I'm getting kind of far, but he had to fight multiple eras of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to fight the ending of the old. Like, he had to go against Timmy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then he's got the new age, and now it's like the new age, which is just everyone's good in my opinion. Like, it's so average now. Like, there's so many people on the team. Like,
just look
have a team full of people scoring.
Just look at their.
Like they're gonna have 2 people that can score 30, and then 2 people that can score 20.
I mean, if you look at the style of clothing that they wore on their draft day,
like,
that just shows you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Now you look now, and it's like, damn, I can see your fucking stomach.
Like, dude, they were wearing basketball shorts down to their ankles. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was the game it was, and
they're wearing pants 5 times the size of them.
My question is this: is LeBron's son, Bronny, is he
Yeah.
going to be able to fit in those shoes? Because those are some really big shoes, dude.
I don't think you can ask him to do that.
They're going to be wanting it.
If he becomes an NBA All-Star and is an All-Star for like 3 years, I would say he reached his potential.
Can he though?
He can. Yeah, he could for sure be a 3-time All-Star. I think if you're asking him to be LeBron level, you're like setting him up. But like,
Bro,
I think
he's gonna have to break
But
every record.
have you seen him play? He's good. Like,
Yeah, I'm not saying he's bad.
but I think
even his younger son,
if he was a
younger son's
3-time,
cold too,
yeah, I think if he's a 3-time All-Star, you'd be able to say he didn't like disappoint his father's legacy because like be a 3-time NBA All-Star, that's fucking big deal. That means you're in the league.
Yeah.
For at least 3 years,
but he's
and doing better than like most.
But what do we
want
to do as kids? We want to best our dad. You know what I mean? And he's gonna have that shadow and that target on his back. Like, dude, you know,
when your dad's the best player, arguably one of the top 5 or 10 ever.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to think if I can't best him. Let me just not be a disappointment like Michael Jordan's sons. I mean, career wise, not like they're disappointment as people.
No, that's
like,
another.
You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Like, that's something you can never live up to. But they never even made the league, so like they're. You know, it's like
I think of like the Lion King. You know, Mufasa when he's training up Simba, and Simba he was able to bring back the pride. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, can Bronny do it, dude? Because I mean, those are some because they're the NBA, dude. It's looking pretty interesting.
It's very average now.
Unless you're a Spurs fan, then it sucks.
Everyone's pretty cold now. That's what I like.
I like this new game.
Yeah,
I like this new game. Yeah, we got shooters.
Like it's especially the Thunder, bro. Like they've done. That's been my team forever.
Yeah.
Like I used to fight that KD was better than LeBron James until he left. I'm like, oh, you know what, you're soft. But nah, dude, just like watching them play, like they're bringing back that old like team effort and like, oh, we need to get that extra pass in. We need to drive towards the rim. We need to get like they're playing old school basketball in a new school age, and I love it.
Yeah, we already talked about it, but like with Draymond, you know, that aggressive play.
That's drafa.
Do you think? do you think like stuff like that? Like, do you think we need to bring that back? Do you let the boys play, if you will, or do you think at this point right now, kind of the way? Because I mean, I feel like refs, and not even just in the NBA, but in the NFL as well. Like refs are being super like hyper focused on little things that are costing game winning plays. You know, do you feel like
at
it's
that point, is it
softening?
rigged?
I'm just saying, dude. Like, there's been some times where I'm like, you know, a team won by a field goal, or a team lost because of a foul, or you know what I mean? Like, there's just some stuff that I'm like, I'm not a betting man, but if I'm willing to bet, it would be that all these games have something funny going on with them.
it's like I don't know if we ever talked about it, but Tim Donahue, like he said that I watched that interview on Vlad. He would say that like the league would bring down shit like, you know, Kobe hasn't been in calls the past like week or 2.
Yeah,
y'all need to emphasize this week.
Who's Tim again?
Tim Donahue. He was I don't know if it's Donahue or Donahue, but he was like he's a NBA referee. They got arrested for gambling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the feds caught on to him. He went to jail for wrestling.
Yeah,
I mean, betting on the games.
Yeah,
and
didn't he have mob ties or like with mafia?
What it was sorta what he was doing is like he was betting the games through like from what I understand from the interview, like a somewhat local bookie.
Right.
Like, you know, $5,000-$10,000 bets, like relatively small.
Right.
But he kept hitting through this like local bookie, and that guy was going through someone like a little bigger. And so the big guy that his bookie was going through was like a mob dude or whatever, mafia, whatever.
Yeah.
And was like, man, this guy's hitting with like 75 or 80% success. No one fucking does that. He's like, I'm just going to parlay his bets and copy him. And he was betting like thousands and thousands and thousands. And it was such big numbers. That's when the FBI caught on and then found out about it. But anyway, he got out of jail now and he's like talking about it. And he's saying that like the NBA would say like, you know, the past like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, we've missed this call, and said star. These next few weeks, don't miss calls. We want him to be able to like score a lot more.
Right.
And so he would know based off of that like, okay, if we're going to be giving every call to Dirk or Kobe or Tim Duncan this couple weeks, then I know they're probably going to cover the spread these weeks, so I'm going to bet that way.
Yeah.
And so it was like the league had like an initiative, and he basically knew off that where to bet, and that kind of. So I don't know what we're talking about. But like, is it rigged? It's like debatable,
it's like
but
50,
it's like
50.
They definitely have.
That's
like,
a bet.
You know,
That's a bet.
but like for real though, it's like
Yeah.
it's like, hey man, you got to sign this contract, you got to do all these things.
It's not
But
as
once you get to
organic as
this,
they think.
you can't go past this.
But it
for
just
this
makes,
year.
It makes you wonder though, like how many of the other like sporting events that were like, how far back do they go? Like where, because I mean, Al Capone was what, 1920s, 30s. Makes you wonder, like all the World Series, all the NFL, like you know, all those games. How many of them had some kind of you know, interesting pull on it? So I mean,
who knows?
Like I said, I like to think that when I'm watching an NFL football game or a basketball game, that it's, you know, it's dedication, it's drive, it's, you know, years of these guys, you know, grinding it out and being a team. But then it's like, is it really, or is it just like wrestling?
Another thing is like, it seems like the refs are getting like more sensitive with stuff, and like it goes with our society where like you can say less, you can be less disagreeable. Everyone wants you to be like in with the status quo, and if you're not, they like don't want you to speak out.
Yeah.
And it's like the NBA has like huge ties with China, so like I heard that like in China, everyone's like real like Chinese people are just like real agreeable, and like they're not as like rowdy as Americans, like, you know, rambunctious. So like in China, like they all just submit to their fucking corrupt government. Yeah. And so like they're trying to make us more like China, where we just all submit like to whatever by like subtle things. But like if our NBA players can't cuss and be as loud and like be as aggressive because they're all just like being bitched out like in a way, but like kept in line, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Like they have less leeway on like what they can say, and like I've seen.
But you can get thrown out.
Well, I remember the Houston Rockets head coach got into it for posting something that was like anti, and I think it was more like not even Chinese, but like the communist.
Yeah.
And so I know he got some flack for that.
You're talking about
the old Rockets coach.
Oh, the old Rockets.
But they
Mike D'Antoni.
It may have been him.
They even do stuff as dumb as like a player hang on the rim for too long and they'll give him a tag and stuff. It's like.
But here's the thing though, those players, even in the NFL, like when you sign a contract with like one of these teams, you have to abide by these rules.
Yeah, but it's all entertainment. So hanging on the rim a few extra seconds, they really need to give him a tag and throw him out of the game. And that's what the people came to see. It's like these refs are trying to set a hard line. We're like, oh, you can't. It's like at the end of the day, we're men. Like we can't. We came here to show our athleticism. It's like I don't know.
Do you think the players
like taking the masculinity?
Do you think the players are in on it? Like, do they go, "Hey, LeBron's gonna shoot.
Degree.
Let him hit this shot." Like,
I don't think it's like that.
Like when that Damian Lillard game-winning shot on who was it? Paul George or George Paul?
Paul George? That was good. I mean, I hate that play.
I love it.
It was against the Thunder.
Damian dude hit that shot, and he pretty much turned around as it was in the air and was like, "That's it, dude. Like that's a dagger, dude." And in slow mo, it looked even cooler. Everything looks better in slow mo, though. We all know that. But we'll see. I mean, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
So the big thing I wanted to get into, Anthony Edwards. The star for the Timberwolves. He's like a huge on the rise baller.
This is gonna touch on a very sensitive subject, so brace yourself.
Yeah. He got a chick pregnant, like an Instagram model, and then I guess there was like a dispute. He didn't want to have the kid. She was having like mixed feelings about it, and then he gave her like $100,000 to have an abortion. And I don't know if she went through with it or not, but she did. She went through with it. Okay, but then she like posted all their messages and like the whole thing online and like blew it up. And it's like, I'm pretty sure part of that big chunk of money was not only to go through with it and kind of like ease the pain, but also to like keep it private, because like obviously it's a big deal. And like, even though he wants to have the abortion and you had mixed feelings, like he might still be hurt about it. Like it still might be hard for him.
Yeah, I'll say like this: I've been in a similar situation,
to him,
and I'll say I regret it.
You paid somebody $100,000?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I was like, damn.
I basically. I wouldn't say I talked someone into having an abortion. It's just like I knew I wasn't ready. We both weren't ready.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to go through with it, and she didn't believe in like birth control and stuff like that. But we went through with it, and I have regret every day, dude.
Do you?
Yeah, like legit. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Like that's making me feel that way. Yeah. But it's like I don't know. Like for real though, I do feel regret towards that, and it's just.
Here's the thing. I don't think he would have done it if men were not financially responsible the way they are for children. Because for $100,000, that's basically what it takes to raise a kid from. You think it takes more than that?
Hell yeah. Oh my, $100,000, dude. That does not go to what? Till they're 18?
Yeah.
No, not even close, dude. Not even close. Like the statistics on it.
So you're saying if you didn't have kids, you'd have $100,000 extra saved?
What I'm saying is it costs from the time they're born to when they're 18, formula, diapers, food, clothes, stuff like that. Yeah, it's way
Google
more
it
than
right
100.
now.
It's like a $250,000, dude.
Let me see.
Look it up. It's probably gone up since inflation, but it's not $100,000, dude. You got to think $100,000 to your 18. What is that? Less than $10,000. Divide that by 12. That's $1,000. You think like, hell no, dude. Man,
yeah, it's $250,000. Okay.
Yeah, no, it got $100,000.
But still, that's only like 2.5 times that. So it's not like a crazy more.
That's
than
double.
That amount.
That's more than
it's double. It's 2.5 times. Yeah.
But even then, it's like.
But he has that money as well.
Yeah, but it was more convenient for him to Logan gassy today. Right. But it was more convenient for him to just cough up because you got to think. Well, do I want to pay $100,000 now, or $23 million over child support for the next 18 years?
Here's my next thing: why are men financially responsible for kids like that if everything is according to feminists and feminism and everything's supposed to be 50-50 and women are making just as much money as men now? Why, when we get pregnant with a woman, are we expected to be financially responsible?
You don't have to be.
Well, the state says you do.
Not if you sign off your rights.
But the woman has to agree to that.
No, he does. No,
yes, she does.
No. If a guy wants
Josh, no one would be on child support if that was the case. What the fuck are you talking about?
If a man can sign off on a paper and say, this is no longer my child, I'm done.
Dude, there'd be so many niggas that do that.
Don't you get like a
They
charge
do.
for that?
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No,
they just don't. They're lazy. What's that?
Do you get a charge for that?
What do you mean?
For like signing your kid
I don't
away?
think you can just do that.
When you do that, dude, you don't hold any rights to your child.
Yeah, you can't just do that. I don't think. There'd be
No,
many dudes
like
that
you
would do that.
can, but I'm
You
pretty
can.
sure that
You can submit your right as a parent, so that way you have no obligation to the child.
I don't know about that, bro.
no,
You
no,
can.
you can.
You can.
Without the other,
You can give
person's
because that
approval.
was an option
It's
given
called
to me.
It's called giving up your
for-
rights. Yeah, I
for
give up my rights to
giving
this
a-
child, and I don't have to. It's whatever. But people are lazy. They don't want to go through the court
I don't
system.
know, bro.
I'm telling
No,
you.
and I want to say you get a charge.
But
for doing
what
it.
ends up happening is in most cases,
I could be
what,
wrong.
What
though.
happens is, you got two
How
adults.
come you never hear about anyone
Hold
ever
on,
doing
hold
that,
on,
ever?
hold on. You got two adults that bicker, that don't like each other, right? So what do? They hit each other when it hurts. The child no longer becomes a child. It's more of a leverage. It's more of, okay, cool, you're going to do that to me. Well, I'm going to do this to you. The child is no longer a child anymore. At that point, they become more of an inanimate object to get back at one another. It becomes an ongoing battle and war up until when they're 18. People, that's most commonly what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guys don't want the war though. They would walk away if they knew they could.
I don't know. I think the
only thing that like would just fight that is just the pride with some people because it makes you look so weak. And like I said, bro, I'm pretty sure you have to deal with some other legal stuff if you
there's
do
more
that,
there's more
because it's
paperwork.
like-
I'm sure
it's
You can't just do it. It has to, because termination of parental rights in Texas forever. Blah blah blah. You can't. Let's see.
right now. Logan's looking up specifically for the state of Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking up. That's I guess the
best state in the world.
If you're a lady. if you're a lady,
Excuse my words on that.
Texas loves you, but if you're a guy, you're kind of you got the shit into the stick. But it's still great.
No,
it's still
because
great state.
even freaking because we don't abortion's illegal here.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I honestly have.
No,
I know
is,
they've
bro.
gone
It's-
back and forth on it.
No, it is. Trust
But
me. I know.
But ultimately, what ends up happening though is, like I said, kids unfortunately are the victims of the whole thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
And especially what's even worse is like I mentioned earlier, you have two people that are spiteful of one another. And so what a mom will do will be like, okay, cool. Well then, you know what? You're gonna see this kid. You're gonna see your child every other weekend, and you get 3 months out of the year. They're gonna stay with you and this and that.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then the child, they like have a connection sometimes they have the connection with their dad, and you know what I mean? The kid suffers through it. And of course, if you have a dad that's really, that really wants to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's upside down. And then again, you got ladies that, they move on, they get married and stuff like that. And then you got this ex-bitter baby daddy, again, using the child as leverage, trying to, they're always trying to one-up
Or
each other.
even when they do get married, they have that controlling like new lover, and it's like
Dude, it can. It's
a
it's a trip,
road,
and so you just got to be careful with or with who with Anthony Edwards. It's like, you have to be careful with who you're who you're going with. Like it's not one of those things where you can just press a reset button and then it goes away. Like you mentioned, it kills you emotionally and mentally. Like it's one of those things where if you've never gone through it, it's like you don't know the trauma that it causes. Yeah. There's some people out there that swear up and down like it doesn't affect them at all. Like, oh, like it didn't bother me. I'm like, dude, you literally had a child. But the thing is this: each circumstances are different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of like
you can't just sign it and give it away. That's fucking horseshit.
What does it
that
say?
Was wrong as fuck.
What does it say?
As fuck, because every nigga would fucking do that shit.
What does it say?
I can't believe you fucking thought that.
What does it say?
A termination of parental rights case can usually be filed before at any time after the child is born, but the reason that someone is asking a judge to terminate parental rights will affect and often shorten the timeline when the start of the case. For example, a termination case based on the other parent's failure to support a child for a year must be filed no later than 6 months after the parent begins the child support. A mistaken paternity case must be filed, blah, blah, blah. Can I just sign a form to relinquish my rights? No. A parent can sign an affidavit of voluntary relinquishment of parental rights if the parent agrees that a court should terminate his or her parental rights to a child. A signed voluntary relinquishment or waiver of interest or even failure to file the paternity registry is not enough to forever end paternal rights. A judge must sign a court order to end those rights forever. And judges won't fucking do it. And this pro-woman society and anti-male...
Have you gone through this system? Hold on. Have you gone through the system? Yes or no?
In this
have you gone through the system?
Can I fucking finish?
No, because you haven't gone through it. Have you?
Fuck yes, I have.
You've gone through it? You fought through custody for a kid?
No, but I've been in court.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have you?
Yes.
They always side for the fucking woman. Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute.
My parents went through custody for us and shit and had to file on who was going to get to pay and shit.
So I was not wrong, right? I'm not wrong. No. Am I wrong? Yes or no?
About what?
What I just told you. The judge
cannot just do it. The judge has to decide, and they never side with the man. Are you fucking kidding me?
Can it be done? Yes or no?
Yes. How often is it done?
You just proved my point.
How often is it done? How often is it done?
Thank you.
Judges have to do it. They never would agree to it.
I didn't say the judge. I said, can it be done? And you said yes.
If the judge agrees to it, what is the precedent?
What did I?
What is the goddamn precedent? What is the goddamn precedent?
Let me answer. You want me to answer yes or no? You said if they do not pay.
What is the precedent?
Oh my God.
You're not answering.
Because you won't let me.
What is it?
Can I talk? Can I talk? Yes or no?
What is it?
No, can I talk? You gonna let me speak? Okay. You just said that if somebody doesn't make child support payments for over a year, or was it over a year? Was it over a year?
Yeah, but that's if you're unable, not if you just don't do it, they'll force you to do it.
But is it possible for that to happen? Yes or no?
If you're disabled, but
yes or no? Yes or no? Can it be done?
Legitimate reason.
Did I just ask you? Yes or no?
If there's legitimate reason.
Yes or no?
If there's legitimate reason, if you just don't pay, you'll go to fucking jail.
There's a yes.
Have you heard of that?
No. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
If you are a fucking able-bodied person and you don't pay, you'll go to jail. Do you hear that?
There's people.
Do you hear that, motherfucker?
There's people that pay. There's people that pay child support.
Pay.
Yeah, you can.
You'll go to jail, dude.
Yeah. But can you hold on?
You can't just not pay and to relinquish rights. You'll go to jail.
Can you, yes or not? Hold on. Relinquish your parent.
Not without going to jail. I'm not going to jail.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. Okay, hold on, real quick.
You can't just not pay. You'll go to jail.
That's what I'm saying. I think you can do it, but you'll have to. Like you're gonna deal with. Legal
but my point is, it can be done.
Yes.
If you want to go to fucking jail.
No.
I think
literally he just said
it's a felony to do it. Dude.
Bro, yeah, you can hold on. If you don't pay child support, your registration for your car will not get renewed.
Okay.
But my point is this: you can relinquish your parentship to the child. Can it be done? Yes. The answer is yes. Now you said if the judge will decide yes or no. That's up to the judge. I didn't say
and they're never gonna say yes. Are you fucking kidding me? When people get divorced, how often do women pay the men? Everything is always beneficial in the court to the women.
I just said that.
Okay.
Were you not listening to when I said that?
So if a judge,
did I not just say that Texas does that?
Okay. So if it's up to the judge, you think they're gonna? What are the chances they're gonna decide with the man? They're never gonna fucking do that. Can it happen? Yeah, that's like saying That's like taking the 1%. Can it happen? Maybe, but in general, 90% of the time,
that's literally what I said. I said it can't happen.
So you're hoping for the 1%.
What do you mean?
1% of the time, men can relinquish it, but 99% of the time, they're fucked. We're going on
99% of the time, 99% of the time, when somebody has a child with somebody,
if it was realistic to relinquish your rights, so many more men would do that.
Mm-hmm. And
it's not realistic.
And they do.
No, they don't. No one tries because they know it's not realistic.
Deadbeat ass dads that aren't there for their kids, right? They're not there for their kids.
But another thing is to do it is like you can't just do it for free.
Yeah, right. You got to spend money.
Nothing's free.
To get child support, it's free. Yeah. It's free to get child support. The government files that for you. Don't have to do anything for that.
There's nothing free.
That's
bullshit.
all that heard me.
But basically, like what it comes down to is like you can't just do it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you.
Right. I get that.
It's not.
And most of the times, I'll put it to you this way: when a lady goes, you know what, fuck this guy, like he's not gonna be, they will go ahead and go forward with it.
Oh yeah,
they want to get,
they can sign up for things like to like push that.
Good riddance. Like that's one of those things. Where it's like, I don't want this guy around me and my kid.
If a woman wants to get rid of the guy, it's like this. If the guy wants to get rid of the woman and the kid, it's like a fucking.
How many guys do you see fighting to keep their kid? Not a lot, right? Most of the time, they're like, "Hey, you can have the kid. That's fine. Hey, I get to have my own place." I'm saying
if the guy doesn't want them, it's like a fight to get rid of them. But if the woman wants to get rid of the guy, it's easy. She can get rid of him in a second.
Mm-hmm. So what's your point?
The government's in favor of women and not men. I know.
Didn't
so
I just say that earlier?
You're like, oh, it could happen, but it's like it's not happening. It's not real. There's no realistic chance of it happening.
I didn't say that. I just said you could happen.
Okay, so there's no so
it's just not easy.
It's not easy. But the point is this: is that. Again, when it comes to child support, right? Or let's go back to
the only way for it to be easy is like, again, like Logan was saying, the woman has to agree to it too.
Yeah.
Like for y'all to do it with like a piece of cake is like, hey,
right.
We both agree that.
And most of the times, the ladies are not going to do that because they're like, hey, you have some financial responsibility to the kid, and they're going to do that, right? Yes or no?
What?
They're going to want some kind of to help out a kid, like, hey, you need some child support. Yes or no?
Most people.
Or women, when
like,
it's
like, oh, you're not signing your rights away, like you're gonna help me take care of this.
Yeah, if you're not signing your rights away and you're planning to be in this kid's life, you're gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
Right. My thing is this.
That kind of helps Logan's argument with kind of both of us what we just said.
As far as what?
Like that it's not that easy. Like it can't be done.
It can't be done?
Almost. Like the more that we're talking about it, like just what we discuss is like they really can't do it without the woman damn near,
right?
Or like unless they had full evidence of like
I think
this person being a
I got a chick pregnant and I was thinking like I don't want to do this, and I called the lawyer and was talking to him about it, and like I didn't go in and sit down and pay money, but his very initial thing was like, bro, you're kind of fucked on trying to like give away your rights. Like he's like, you can do it, but like, bro, he was just like, he was even trying to dissuade me from doing it because he was just like, you might change your mind and care about him later and like all this shit, but he was basically just saying like, we could spend a lot of money in the like it's not guaranteed, and like we could spend a lot of money, and we just, and he was saying, what if we are successful and then you regret it later? And he was just trying to just like push me away from it because he knew it was such a hard battle. So he's like, why fight the hard battle, spend all this money, and then you might regret it, stuff might change, blah 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 blah. He's like, you might not even have the fucking kid. That's what he said. He's like, so let's just wait. But he was like, it's a hard fucking thing to do.
But but why do you think he was telling you all this? Because it's a possibility
that it wouldn't happen. I'll waste a lot of money.
No, that you would, if let's just say you had a child, right? Let's just say this came to be.
You would change your mind or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think it's one thing. It's one thing. Like once you see your own child, dude, it's a trip, dude. It's a real trip. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So Anthony Edwards doing this thing, right? It created, like you said, it was a very controversial subject because, well, for a couple things. One, a lot of people were giving him flack, like, how can you do this and that? And
I guarantee you so many other people have done this, especially famous people.
All the time.
Bro.
But on the other side of the coin, it's like she extorted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Which probably is not going to help her at all in any case, because if you look at it that way, it could be like, oh, she's trying to defame this man. You know?
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure they signed like some NDA or something like that.
And that's even worse because then it's like you were literally told.
But if she already got the money in the bank, then you know what's it to her? But yeah,
I just think of this
the
time
money back
where we championship feminine, or like we champion independent women, and women make as much money as men and all this shit. Like why is there such thing as child support?
Well, to help the kid. Obviously.
But if women are independent and they're making just as much as men, why that doesn't make any sense?
I think they have that mentality, but if you were to break down the finances,
so it's like a fake mentality.
I think it's
bullshit
more.
It's bullshit when you have a kid.
But then again, maybe they can make money to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this: I've never heard of a woman paying child support, but like,
It happens very, very rarely.
Yeah,
that is
I'm just
more
never
likely
really heard about
than you just giving away your rights and not having anything. I feel like, but who knows? It just puts a man in a terrible position because, like, most times you have to pay the child support, and then it's like you're legally, like, they have this legal thing over where you, like, have to interact with them and give them money, like, forever, and it puts you in this weird position where you can't.
Forever?
Well, so they're 18 for like 20 years. So it puts you in this weird position where, like, you can't fully move on with your life to a degree. It's just like super, like, it's just a weird. I think that contract is like outdated. We need to just get rid of child support. That way, either you choose a better man to get with and stay with, or you are like more pure with your body and you just don't go around having sex as loosely. Either more preserved or pick a better man. Or use protection, but don't like just go around fucking every dude and then abortion.
So
like,
in this scenario where let's just say they eliminate the child support, does the father still have like the parental rights of the father still exist, or how does that work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's 50-50 custody.
Well, it's not 50-50. If he's only seeing her on the other weekend, every other weekend.
Well, they would have to change it towards 50-50. I think they should give a child 1 week or like 2 weeks with one parent, 2 weeks with the other parent, like half a month in a block. That way.
The thing about it though is that that's not normal.
Well, nothing about divorce is normal.
No.
And if we did away with child support, that would force women to try to make a better effort to stay with the man that they got pregnant by, and that would force it to be more normal. Because nothing we have going on now is normal,
let's be honest,
right?
though. Let's be honest, though. Those relationships where people do get pregnant like that, those relationships are toxic as hell, and they're not going to last. So I
know, but women are almost borderline incentivized to like have a kid and then go away because they know they're going to get that child support. Where if they weren't going to get that, they would really think like, is this guy going to take care of me? Even if we split up, he might, if he's a good guy, take care of me. Because like I would do that if I had a kid with a chick and like we split. I'm a good guy. I would still take care of them. Yeah. But
how many people are like you though?
Wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would force the chicks to think about it. And not be like my dumbass ex and be like, I'm just going to dick hop because any guy that has a kid with me is going to force me to take care of me.
Right.
She would think, oh, a lot of these guys are losers. I'm not going to take care of me. And the government's not going to take care of me. I better pick a guy who will. And they just think government aid and all these guys are going to have to pay child support.
Yeah. So hold on. So all that being said, and then you get on the flip side of the coin, how about dudes just not, shooting up the club like that?
Yeah.
That's also an option. But
yeah.
Most guys,
somewhere.
But for sure.
Somewhere. And here's the thing: guys have a higher sex drive than women, and women decide who have sex. So it's an unflattering truth. Men will fuck almost anything.
Right.
So it's an unflattering truth.
I say right, like
we both have. There's unflattering things about both sexes, but we'll fuck almost anything. So and women decide who have sex. So as a woman, you have to decide like it's one thing that most like. I'm sure there are people that get pregnant off of one night stands, but like that's probably not the majority. Like,
right,
so like if you're fucking a dude regularly,
my ex was a one night stand,
but it's rare. Probably.
Yeah.
So like, the thing is like, if you're fucking a guy regularly, you shouldn't be fucking a loser regularly. You know better. Like you're gonna end up getting pregnant by a loser. So it's like, but women do it now because they know that they can have an abortion in like half the states or drive to one, and they're gonna have child support, and the government will help them if they're like in poverty. So it's like without all these safety nets, women will have to think like, is this really the best decision?
Yeah, I still think it kind of goes both ways. Like I know what you mean, and it makes sense. But I think as men, like you're, and I know you're big on it. As men, we have to be more responsible for what we do. And and again, like I said, in the moment, we don't think about it because it's like, what are the odds? But then when those odds, they turn against you, and then you find yourself in child support court. Then it's like,
here's the thing: a woman can only get pregnant once a year, so it's biologically much more important. Like. So, okay, let's just say both sexes are absolutely reckless.
Right.
Woman, you can get pregnant once a year.
Right.
And a guy can get a chick pregnant every day of the year.
Right.
So it's like just by nature, it's more, just by biology, it's more important with who a woman has sex with, because if you have sex with a loser and you're pregnant with that loser, you now have that loser's kid for a year, and you cannot have any other kids with any other person, and then you're going to be stuck raising that loser kid for at least 10 years before it can fend for itself. So it's like, are you going to be able to find another good, like, it's a mental thing of like, it's way.
It's
more,
a never-ending cycle.
It just is a lot. It's because you carry the child and raise the child. It's more taxing when you make a mistake with pregnancy than it is for men, just by biology. So it's like you all need to be more careful with it.
Yeah, I mean, ladies carry the baby.
So it's more important who you have a kid with.
Yeah. No, that's
more important who you let enter you. It's more important who you let come in you. Men cannot be Cayman and have a pregnant. You can be Cayman and get pregnant. So you need to decide who you let come in you.
Yeah, but again, the guy can do it too.
It's the whole thing.
It takes two to tango, right? It takes two to tango.
Women are hoes, men are hoe makers. We're not the same.
Oh God, Logan. Yeah, man.
It's hard for a man to get sex. It's easy for a woman to get sex. So just if it's easy for you to get sex, you need to have a little bit of goddamn discipline and decide, am I gonna fuck with this guy?
But you got to think too at the same time though, like with like, let's just say the divorces and stuff like that. Some of those are, long lasting relationships as well. So in the beginning, you don't know who you're with, like per se. Let's just say you don't know at the gate.
Well, you should vet them for at least like a year.
Right. But what I'm saying is you get past that year mark, you get married, you have a kid, life, you have a career, this and that. And then 10, 20, 15 years later, it happens. It does. A divorce or whatever. Yeah. At any point in time in that
people get lazy and they don't want to work. They put themselves over the marriage and they think, I'm not happy anymore. I this, I that, I this, I that, instead of thinking like,
but what I'm saying though,
hold on, instead of thinking that me and this man or me and this woman entered into like a thing and it's about us and da 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 da. People start getting to like me, and it's like.
What I'm saying though is that nobody's safe from that potential missile that could just hit.
But if you vet people strongly, you can be like, no one's safe forever from anything.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but you can hedge your bet on like a better chance.
I don't know, man. Nowadays, I can't think of a billionaire that has just one wife with one kid and or that's the regular family.
That's why Myron's presenting the option of like having multiple women because the old formula doesn't fucking work anymore. And when we hear that, or when most people hear that, they're like, ew, because it doesn't go with like society. But it's like, bro, society is not working for men in dating right now, like at all. So like, we got to do something.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's to me, it's like, okay, so let's just say you have 3 wives or 3 girlfriends, right? And then you have a baby with each one of them.
Right.
That's all right. Or let's just say 4. We'll say 4 just to even it up. And then you have a kid with each one.
Yep.
We all just said that it takes about $250,000 to raise each one of them.
Yeah.
Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to
spend $1 million?
Yeah. Or you could just say, I'll have one wife, I'll have one kid, and hope for the best.
Well, some people with one wife still have 3 or 4 kids.
Right, but I mean, why you spread yourself thin like that? Like with multiple.
The same amount of kids.
I guess you.
You know what I mean? You're causing more problems.
There's kind of a safety net there because then it's like, there's no way that all those women are going to be the same. One might be like, oh, I'm going to take care of all these kids regardless if I share, like, this is my other husband's wife or girlfriend or not. Like, that was so funny.
Logan, is that Red Robin? Red Robin. No, I for me, I'd rather, if I'm gonna have a kid, like, if I'm a millionaire and I have, the option of having one wife with 4 kids, or or having 4 wives with 1 kid each, I'd keep it one together. Just so that way,
that's what you've thought your whole life, and that's what society tells you, and that's what's just normal, and that's what you have been trained to think.
It's not even that. Bro, just look at Nick Cannon. That guy can't even spend enough time with his kids.
How do you know?
Because he already said it. He said it in interviews plenty of times. He can't spend all the time.
But he's also like a celebrity that has like a lot of his time.
Tyreek Hill too. That guy. Did you hear about Tyreek Hill?
How many kids does he have?
3 kids. With like,
he has 7 kids.
That's way more than what I'm talking about, though.
7 kids with I think 7 different ladies.
Yeah.
He just got married last month. 3 of his kids were born this year. I mean, and again. You're
already seeing it. All the rich, successful men are having all the fun and all the kids and all the families and all the broke people.
Fun. Yeah, that's fun to you.
Bro, look at Nick Cannon.
That's what I just said.
Oh, you did? I hear you say that.
I don't want to be like broke and like not doing what I want. These niggas are doing what they want.
Do they? I mean, you think that's what they want? I don't think so.
Evidently, they have all the money to do what they want. That's
bro.
what they're doing.
And he plays Fortnite.
I think it's fun at the moment, but I think as you get older and
you just chilling and play Fortnite and play football.
I don't know, man. 12 kids with like 12 different ladies. I mean, dude, that's a busy Christmas. How you think about that shit, dude? You're gonna go to 12 different birthdays, go see 12 different stepdads. You're gonna go to 12 different, like that. That's a lot, dude. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm out the norm, but I'm just like saying like I don't care. If I was a billionaire, dude, I couldn't do that, man. I couldn't.
You'd have one woman that would leave you and take half your money.
I mean, Bezos did it. Yeah, Bill Gates did it.
A little different than all that. I don't know. That's not the thing you're talking about is the formula that most men use, and it's like not working at all.
I wouldn't say for all.
It's worked for very few.
It depends on the statistics, but I wouldn't say all.
Most men cannot find a happy relationship with one woman anymore.
I don't know.
And that's why they are divorced.
I don't know. I think it's a complex. I think it's a complex answer that it's just not like a full sentence. I think it goes deeper than that. But I think nowadays it's a lot more tougher than like our grandparents. You know what I mean? Like our grandparents didn't have to deal with like social media or their pressures of like.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's a different time for sure. But I wouldn't say that all because of it. You know, all love is lost.
And social media is like it's tainted everyone, bro. Like even with men, like I forgot who it was. It was like, it was like I think it was a rapper that was saying I couldn't think of it, but it was a long time ago. I just remember seeing it. He's like, man, now you got men out here thinking that they need to freaking pose for pictures and take pictures of their food, etc. And it's just like, yeah, it's kind of right though, because like
yeah, it's
and then social media is like, oh man, like if you don't have it like this, then you're living sad.
See, but here's the thing: I say I'm over here like talking shit about it and calling it poison, but I utilize social media myself, so I can't. I should utilize it more, but I don't care for it. Yeah, and I see like the bad in it, so I'm like, yeah, I really don't care for it. Yeah. But I still have it. Yeah, not like the ones you should have. Like I don't have Facebook. Right. I have a freaking Instagram it's my artist name. Twitter artist name.
Another thing this kind of goes into is I didn't do a ton of research, but like recently, I think it was like, again, I didn't research it much, but like some lady tried to extort Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And like he worked with the cops, and like now she's in hot shit, and it's like this is a W for the mandom because like women think they can get away with this shit, and like.
But how did she set him up?
Again, I didn't research it. But
I think she had an interview with them. Just based off like the details I've seen, she had an interview with them, and then she said she wouldn't release it unless he paid her a certain amount of money.
But what did they like hook up? Or?
No. It was like I even think it was like a friend of his, like a business friend.
Right, but I guess what
she was just trying to get money from him.
That was like what happened. You don't get money from somebody without an incident happening. Like she must have had some dirt on him.
Nah, I feel like she would have already dropped it.
No. You're not following me. So
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So there has to have been an incident or something happened between the two to where she was like, either you give me money.
No, I just saw that like they had an interview and then she was like, I'm not.
Did she like do a false accusation?
No, she literally was like, I'm not releasing this interview unless you pay me. So it was like, hey, Josh, I want you to come. I want you to be on my podcast.
Was it his podcast?
But I'm not releasing it unless you pay me.
His or hers?
Hers.
So, okay. So it was her podcast.
Yeah.
She had him as...
I believe that's like, just from like the detail I've just like peeped at.
But one of them was his former assistant, so I think there might have been some other allegations.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because here's the thing. When you go on somebody's podcast, technically speaking,
they don't have footage.
They don't have to release it. They don't have to release it. Like that's
you agree. You sign shit. Like Vlad makes you sign shit before you go on there. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to interview.
If they want to do that, he can. That's what I'm saying. There must have been something that happened that either or allegedly happened. Yeah. And again, that's why I'm saying she did like a false accusation, like you know.
I haven't seen anything about accusation. Talk about that's why I'm just like I don't.
Yeah, we can talk about it more in detail if it gets bigger, but I just wanted to hit up the angle of like, you know, it's like any kind of negative like lies and deception and evil shit's not bad. So like, you know, the Me Too movement, there was bad shit going on. We need to expose it good. But like when it went too far and women started like lying to like get people in trouble and like trying to extort them and like trying to, that shit's bad too. So it's like, you're kind of seeing like the Me Too went like too far and now it's swinging back the other way. It's like, okay, we need a happy medium where like.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I really don't care for KD as an individual because I think he's a POS.
Kevin Hart?
Oh, are you talking about Kevin Hart or Kevin Durant?
It's Kevin Hart.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kevin Durant.
It's Kevin Hart.
Oh, man, I was thinking of Kevin Durant. Well, Kevin Durant, I don't like him, but I feel like...
I don't like him.
I don't like him. Kevin Hart, okay, so this makes sense now. I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Okay, so Kevin Hart, okay. Damn, I don't know what I was going to say because I threw out because I was going to say Kevin Durant, I felt like was under a lot of scrutiny as of lately, but I feel like he was kind of one of those guys that was easy to like do that to. But for Kevin Hart's been having it, dude.
Yeah.
He lost his mobility doing that race. You didn't see that? Yeah, when he raced that one guy and he like threw out his back and like he's in a wheelchair now.
Damn.
Because of it.
I thought he tore something.
He did.
Like
but
in his legs or something.
No, well, he did that, but he messed up his whole body. Oof. Yeah, like permanently. I mean, he's like 40-something trying to sprint against a 20-something-year-old, like professional athlete. You're gonna kill yourself. And he barely survived that car accident. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
So Kevin Hart, man, he needs to chill.
Let's see. Another thing that was pretty big is Travis Kelce was paid $20 million to support the Pfizer vaccine.
God. Yeah, we talked about this early this week. Yeah, that's
PF
big. That's big
gang.
news. That's really big news.
Yeah, something's up with him. Like he got together with Taylor, then this. It's just like, it's like what like. I wonder when someone like everything good seems to happen in their career at once like that.
Yeah.
So it almost is like it's almost like too good to be true, and it's like what's really going on behind the scenes. But more than that, it's like we talked about it a little, like you said a little before. But I have a problem with them paying a big celebrity like that to advertise for something when the vaccines were pushed as like a medical necessity for your health versus like usually things that are advertised are like products that are optional, like Coca-Cola, chips, blah blah blah. So like advertising to try to entice you to get it. But like the vaccine was advertised as like more of a must have and like a medical like necessity,
right?
Not like a optional thing. So it's like it's kind of weird now that it's being advertised and like commercially almost like it's like this is not like.
But it was bound to happen though.
It doesn't happen with any other vaccines. There's no ads.
Maybe not. I mean, Pfizer was like the most used COVID vaccine at the time, and it still is. It's like Coca-Cola now, right? But yeah, like it was bound to go.
But is this something that's optional for like fun and your enjoyment? Because that's what most ads are. This clothes is better. It's like it'll improve your life. This drink tastes better. It's a better flavor, whatever. Like all these options are like what's like optionally better. But it's like this is not optionally better. Y'all were saying like this is at the time they're saying this is necessary. Like this will help medically. Not like so even if like whatever they said about it, they were saying that this will help you health wise, not it's like preference,
right?
Which is most things you advertise like preference thing. It's like this is not a preference thing. This is like a health.
Not necessarily, because sometimes there's paid actors. Like I've never taken the supplement in my life, but I will endorse it because they paid me.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be that too. You know, he probably doesn't even have Pfizer. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But
probably didn't get the vaccine.
That's what I'm saying. And so like most times when you got an actor that's promoting like a product and stuff like that, they've personally never probably even used it. But they're like, you know, because it's my name.
But the point is, do you think they should advertise something that was marketed as like a health
I think it's
benefit versus?
I think it's free game at this point.
Well, and my problem here too is because like it's different when you advertise like Nexium or like other health things that are like helping for asthma or like helping for your brain or like pills that are on TV like ads like take AstraZeneca or whatever, like it'll blah 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 this. Like okay, it's one thing to, like advertise for something that's a medical thing, but like those aren't vaccines and those aren't for like those are for like isolated health issues. Like if you have acid reflux and they advertise Nexium, it's like okay, that might help my acid reflux the best, but like most people don't have that. And like whatever with COVID it was like everyone had it, or you know, most people, whatever, everyone was gonna get it. So it's not like this is an isolated problem. If you want to try to take this medicine for it, we're advertising. It's like everyone has it. This is probably they were saying it was probably the best option for everybody. So it's like a little different than advertising something else. And I'll add to that, like if someone advertises something else and it's not true to their advertisement or it does harm, you can sue them.
Right.
With the vaccines, they have a special relationship with the government where you cannot sue them. So that's a huge thing. I don't think you should be able to advertise something that you can't sue, because that then they're showing you this is not a product like other products that you can advertise. It's in a different lane.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should be advertising it.
Let me ask you, as far as like this vaccine right now, the Pfizer, will you go with Pfizer since it's the most common one now?
I feel like Johnson & Johnson was the most used one.
No, it wasn't. It was Pfizer. It was Pfizer.
Pfizer has the most name recognition.
Yeah, it was Pfizer.
I got Pfizer, but I used to joke with it just because like fucking little baby shit. PF, I'd always be like PF gang, just fucking around.
But let me ask: do you think that the vaccine now, we're like 3-4 years now past COVID now coming up?
Yeah.
Do you think the vaccine has improved, or do you think it's the same old shit?
It's funny, they haven't said one thing about it, have they?
That's what I'm at. That's what
they
I'm
haven't
wondering.
said. You know, in the beginning we came out and said X, Y, and Z, and we were wrong on X, but we were wrong on X, but we were right on Y and Z, or what have you. They haven't said what they were right on, what they were wrong on, what after. This seemed to be what we thought, and then after 3 or 4 more years of data, we were absolutely right.
Yeah.
You have seen, and that's what I would love to hear. Like, you know, we thought this at first, but actually, after we've actually got the data, hardcore, like in the real world, it was different, or it was the same, or whatever. You heard none of that.
Why do you think? Why do you think?
Go away and forget, because it was all fucking lies. Or it's so obvious.
Or they'll go like this. Or
So
if they're wrong, then we'll be like, well, what do we have now? What did we take? Because if this new brand that you have is not what we got, then
but you're not hearing anything. You're not hearing one peep.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no evidence. There's zero evidence on what it will do. They're not even saying. They're saying nothing.
Yeah, I mean, even Sprites have their own remixes. Like, I want to have like a remix, like.
I just want it to go away. I'll forget about it.
I want my vaccine. My next vaccine shot, dude. I want to jump. So
you
I want to touch the
tropical mix vaccine.
Hey, I want to touch the goalpost on the basketball court.
They have nothing. They have nothing.
Don't laugh, dude. That'd be dope.
No, that's funny as fuck.
If they gave you superhuman powers, would you do it?
No, that's pretty much what the Neuralink's gonna be. I'm not taking that either. But it's gross how they're gonna advertise it, and it's.
But here's the thing: advertising's there for a reason. I mean, you know, it's a product. It's something.
It's not a product though, because like I said, you can't sue them like other products if they're wrong or they have harmful stuff.
Still a product. It's still a product. Whether it's.
But they made it seem like it was a health beneficiary, not just like something like Red Bull's a product. I can be fine without Red Bull. I don't ever have to drink Red Bull. Right. But they made it seem like you were not gonna be fine unless you took it.
Yeah. Well, that's
where the issue is.
There's been other like lawsuits that were like that, where you know, like for instance, Subway when they were doing like, remember when Jared first came out? Yeah. Like they were like, oh yeah, like if you eat Subway,
you can sue them. You cannot sue these companies. That's my problem, right?
But I mean, but they didn't know it at the time though.
But when they figured it out,
they did.
But then, so it's anyway, that's my problem with that.
Yeah.
Another thing that's like kind of abstract that I saw that Tank Davis converted to like being a Muslim. Which I don't. It's just like some athletes do it, like Kareem did it, Muhammad Ali did it. I don't. I feel like for him it's like a attention grab, but I just don't know like why.
I've noticed that a lot, like with like rappers too, claiming that they're Muslim now
lately.
Yeah,
that's like a popular thing. Like,
yeah.
What's Boot Gang? What's his name?
John Gabbana.
Yeah, he
John
actually.
Gabbana,
I just saw it on Instagram
he said the
earlier.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that. I don't know.
Why is it cool? Because even he said he's doing it.
I don't know, but I'll be honest with you. I'm ignorant to the religion.
I'll say this: the only thing that is that the religion that doesn't eat pork.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like I fuck with that, just that aspect alone. Yeah. Like I understand why they don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is like, I guess what you're asking is like, is it a sincere kind of like conversion? Like, are they?
I just don't know anything about it. I think one thing that's appealing though is like Muslims seem to be like super hardcore. Whereas like Christians, a lot of them are like fair weather. Like it's like I'm a Christian, but like I'm a new age Christian, or like I just kind of like blow in the wind. Whereas like Muslims seem to be like more regimented with their shit. And someone that's trying to like that is trying to turn to religion to get their life in order, they're like, this shit's hardcore, and like these people are like really stand by their shit, seemingly more than like Christians do.
I don't know. I feel like, but I mean, it's not the first time that people have done that. Like for instance, Daddy Yankee just recently retired from reggaeton music, so because he wanted to proclaim his faith as a Christian, like a new believer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But athletes have always done that, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Like they do that. It's nothing new.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Muhammad Ali did it for just so he didn't have to fight in the war. He's like, I'm not gonna fight this white man's war.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can.
No, that's what he said. That's literally what he said. Why he did it.
Maybe I don't know. He I don't know. All I know is that like it's nothing new, but
because he was gonna go to prison if he didn't.
Yeah.
Or dodge a draft, you should say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he did. Maybe that's what he said to appease people, but maybe he had his own personal reasons. We don't know.
I mean, he had a live name before then. I'm not gonna just. What was it?
Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty dope name.
That is.
Yeah.
Both actually. Muhammad Ali's kind of a badass
Muhammad
name
Ali.
too.
He even went harder.
Like,
he's like, "Bet you gonna make me get rid of my name just so I don't have to."
Which
fight
one's harder, Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson? Which name sounds harder?
Cassius Clay.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, just Cassius alone. That just sounds live.
Yeah, dude. That's a badass name. I wish I had a like.
I wish my name was Cashmere.
I wish I had,
Cashmere.
Cashmere.
Yeah.
I wish I had like another turtle.
The Adventures of Cashmere Shabash.
Yeah, but no, man. Yeah, I mean, like I said, in terms of religion and stuff like that, I think everybody has their own personal reasons why they do it. You know what I mean? Do they now? I think when they announce it, it's similar to like when Daddy Yankee converted to Christian. Like, hey, just letting you know, this is my faith and my belief and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they try to find common ground with like their fan base that maybe follows that religion.
Yeah.
Now, do they practice it? That's another thing. But I think you're right in terms of like they have to be more what's the word? More real.
Regimented with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't know enough about the Muslim religion and I don't even think it's Muslim. I think it's Islam is the religion.
Islam. Yeah. Same thing.
Well, I think Muslim is the individual. Islam is the religion. Yeah.
But it's like it's the same thing.
But the thing is like
because they go. I don't even think it matters like what they believe in. It's like if you're Muslim, bro, like we riding for you.
No, over there, dude. Like if you don't ride for them, they'll kill you.
Like, but like what's going on right now is man, they riding for their people.
Ain't no half step in there, dude. You go to to those countries that are like still out there in the like,
no, yeah. Trust me. I know it's like that.
Yeah, they'll murder you.
You see how they eat.
No. But
let me get a scoop with your foot.
Now, yeah, like I said, man, it's like I said, it's just one of those things. Like if that's what's bringing them peace, then assalamu alaikum, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There you go.
Assalamu alaikum. What?
That's how they say it, right? That's what it is.
Yeah. Just that was funny.
I think the last thing I had was that Trump got removed off the ballots in Maine and Colorado.
I saw that he got put back on the Colorado one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm just like. I wish I could take like.
I wish we just didn't have the choice between dumbasses.
I wish I could just like turn off the news.
No, literally, bro.
Because
now other people are like, well, we're coming back.
They find
that's what people don't realize. Trump brought those motherfuckers out to vote. Motherfuckers that haven't voted in
people like
decades,
find an excuse
bro.
of why it's okay to vote. Still, it's so just played.
Yeah.
Wait,
and then people are like, "Oh, if you don't vote, you should talk about
I know
politics."
your stance on it, but you believe in no total absolute voting.
Yeah.
But locally, you're okay with it.
I guess so.
You guess so.
There's an argument to be made, but I think we should all just not do it one time and just say "fuck y'all." What could be the worst thing that happens? Everything's already going to shit, getting worse and worse. Y'all act like y'all gonna save the day, like Superman. If you vote, I'm gonna cast my vote, and Superman's gonna fly out of the sky and do what I want.
And this is one thing I see. Everything. Okay, I mean, I'm fucking. I don't care about either side. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give a fuck about politics. But that's because of how bullshit they are. But it's like anything that bad that has happened under Biden, it's like Biden's fault. Like all the MAGA people, it's Biden's ruined this country. But all the shit that Trump did, and anyone say this is Trump's fault, they're like, no, he physically didn't do this.
But everybody does that for their president. But, everybody does that.
That doesn't mean it's right though. Enough is enough.
No. Yeah. But I'm saying like if you, it's just very hypocritical because it's like Rajiji. It's like, bro, Biden is literally a fucking dementia patient. The other one. He kind of seems like he knows what he's doing. So it's like we're going to hold someone that physically doesn't... Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
We're going to give someone that is literally physically incapable of probably taking care of themselves more scrutiny than the person that is putting on their own pants every morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I have friends that...
it's like, okay, let's blame the fucking lost puppy.
I have friends that are like in different countries.
But I'm not saying he's a lost puppy.
Yeah, I asked them like, hey, what is y'all's views on like us as Americans? You know what I mean? Like from your out, because I don't know their perspective. Like they're in Australia. One's in Australia and the other one's in England. And we're not like besties, but we keep in touch and stuff like that. And
I got a few friends like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, what is y'all's honest thoughts on America? And they tell us like, dude, like y'all are literally like a carnival show.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not. We're not even taken serious like at all. And
y'all ain't worth a fuck. Australia, y'all are clowns too. Y'all ain't got no guns. And during the COVID lockdowns, y'all are pulling y'all's pants down. So
hold on. But what I'm getting at,
y'all look at us as a carnival because we still show our nuts every now and then, and we're fucking still got a thread of masculinity left. Y'all are a bunch of fucking cucks and pussies.
Wait, hold on. You can't talk shit about America and then get offended when somebody says something about it.
I'm an American. We're shitty too, but we're better than Australia, bro. They ain't got no balls, bro.
Hey, they got kangaroos.
They got no balls.
Hey, I fuck with koala bears. That's all I'm saying.
And R.I.P. Steve Irwin. But
but
I seriously do. I ask him. I go, hey, so what? Like, you know what I mean? Like what is y'all? What do as a general, as a whole country? Like, what do y'all think? And they're like, dude, y'all guys are like, y'all really are. Y'all look wild out there. Because I know from our perspective, we're like, dude, this is kind of who's driving this fucking thing? Like, you know what I mean?
It's just annoying.
I don't know, man.
What are you gonna say?
I said, let me drive the boat.
Oh God, dude. Yeah, let's think about that. If you got a chance to run for president, would you do it? Yes or no?
No.
Would you?
Yes, but just because like politics is bullshit, bro. Like, look who was running for president.
But you said you wouldn't do either one. But let's just say in this instance,
I wouldn't vote for it. I don't care to vote for either side because it's the same thing.
So let's just say, so you don't want to be president. You said you would. But
I would just because.
Would you be able to? I guess let me ask you this: since you would you? How do you think you'd feel bearing all that weight of the world, like the country, on your shoulders, dude? That's some heavy weights, bro.
It's
regardless if you don't like President Trump or President Biden, dude, that is some massive weight, dude. You have the weight of the country on your shoulders, bro.
It's not like that.
I was gonna say it's really not like that because if it was, it would be more of like.
Biden would be dead if he was that stressed out, bro.
There's that, but it also comes down to like
his eyes are.
If it was more of that, there would be more of like
when 9/11
pressure on them.
When
like, it would be like, oh shit, I'm fucking up all this shit. But it's not.
When 9/11 happened, George Bush was like reading a book to the kids and like continued reading the book to the kids. It's like, bro, if you were in charge of the country, you'd be out of there.
But did he look like? Did he look freaked out though?
I mean, come on, bro.
Did he look freaked out?
Everyone in America
he was like,
"Oh
man, I thought that happened 2 hours ago."
You got to think though, President, when that happened, that was literally on his first year as president. And it's like, oh crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
but like Logan just said, if you were really about your standing on business, you'd have been like,
it's just not like that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The president doesn't run shit like that.
Yeah, like.
Did we not go fight war in another country because of it?
Hold on. If the president really ran shit like that, do you think we would have let the Monica Lewinsky thing out with Bill Clinton come out?
What do you mean?
That would have been a non-story. If the president really was as powerful as he was, we would have been like, just shut this whore up. And
you don't think Bill Clinton had some? You don't think he had some enemies? You think he was in there because he was in there? He didn't have any enemies?
I mean, don't you think you control them?
Even if you have enemies, if you're as powerful as you are,
as the president, they're not gonna matter.
Yeah.
Did Julius Caesar get stabbed to death by his own folks? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, that was a long ass time ago.
But it happened, right?
And he wasn't as powerful as he thought he was.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, he still was the leader. Yeah. But my point is this: it's like when you're in that position, and that goes back to the weight that I'm saying.
But that's a lot different because back now you have technology and everything's super connected. Like back then, you could just kill someone and throw them off a cliff and no one would fucking know. But now you can't fucking do that kind of shit. So it's like, I see your point. Like he was powerful and got killed, but like. When someone's powerful now and we're so interconnected now, someone that powerful and well-known can't just disappear. Everyone's going to be like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
Yeah. Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Julius Caesar was able to get killed and disposed of because after he was killed and disappeared, only the people that killed him know what happened and they could lie about everything else. But like, you're not going to be able to kill Bill Clinton and lie about it.
No,
like,
but you can set him up and you can.
But if he's the most powerful.
And what happened? He got impeached from that thing.
But he still was president after that.
Yeah, but he's still nonetheless
nothing happened.
It ruined his relationship with like everyone was like, whoa, hold on, I thought you were with Hillary. The thing, what I'm getting at is this: when you're sitting in that position, you got people that are going to be smiling in your face. They're like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I'm your buddy, this and that, and then all of a sudden you find like, oh, dude, like you set me up. You think Monica Lewinsky was like? Do you think that it was just some dumb ditzy girl?
I don't know.
Somebody said, hey, I need you to go in there. This is what Bill Clinton's weakness is, and if you do
so
it,
powerful, why would presidents need 4 more years? Like, I need 4 more years to get all this shit done. It's like if you're so powerful, you would have got it done already. It's just like a big show, bro. They're not powerful.
Yeah, I think even 4 years, dude. 4 years is not a long time.
Yes, it is, bro.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
4 years?
Yes, it is.
4 years to change the world, dude. It takes longer than that.
It doesn't.
It takes generations, my friend.
How quick do we accept transgenders?
I don't know how long.
Yeah, pretty fucking quick, bro.
You don't think? Well, you think they just showed up last year? You don't think they've been around?
Within 10 years, we completely 180 switched our view on them as a society. Yes.
And they showed up 10 years ago, or they've been here for a while?
They've been here, but they were neglected for years and years and years. And then within a 10-year span, we did a 180 on them. So things happen relatively quickly. Change happens.
But even 10 years, that's 10 years. You said 4. 4. Here's the thing.
But you can still do a lot of influence, a lot of change, and get a lot done in 4 years.
I don't know, man. 4 years.
Nah, you can.
4 years,
especially like back to like the stuff that we do now. There's no weight on the outcome anymore. Like it's almost instant now.
Like, I don't think
on anything.
I mean, on certain things, sure.
On certain things, but like even in the big aspect, like I guess in a small terms way, look at Bud Light. Look how fast they plummeted just because they supported like the LGBTQ community. It's like, oh shit, like, and that's not it, but that's just like a little taste of like how fast things can change overnight. Look at Starbucks. They're pro-Israel right now. Yeah. They've lost billions of dollars just because people know that they're pro-Israel. Yeah, it's like, oh wow, you're just like, now you're gonna stop.
But did that impact the world economy? Yes or no? Not really.
But but those are. But
that's what I'm saying. When you're a global leader, when you have a country that you're like, Starbucks doesn't affect you. You know what I mean? These little changes. No. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like, when you're trying to control the inflation of the country, I mean, dude, you're not ordering some shit off DoorDash. You know what I mean? You got to think. You got to get with the economists. You got to create a plan. Then you got to take it into action. And it takes a minute for this shit to happen. I don't think. I mean, 4 years. 4 years is a long time, sure. But what I'm saying is, if you want to get like results, long-term results, it's going to take longer than 4 years.
How long was World War II?
I don't know, maybe 10 years.
But that was a long 4 years.
What does that mean? I don't understand.
It's just 4 years is a long time, bro.
Well, what do you? I'm lost. You lost me there.
World War II was 4 years.
What do you mean?
It was 6 years.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, America was in it for 4 years, from 41 to 45. So it's you think 4 years is quick? It's like, no, bro, it's not. If you want to talk to somebody that was alive during that time and ask them if that was a short 4 years.
41 to 45.
Yeah, World War II, was that a short 4 years?
America was in it at 41 and 45.
Yeah.
Can you check? I think because I don't think Pearl Harbor, because we didn't get into it until Pearl Harbor hit. Yeah. And I think Pearl Harbor was like 48. But
no, it was over by then.
Check when.
No, it was 1939 to 45.
When America was in the war.
No, that's how long the war was.
Yeah. But when did America?
41.
That's right. When Pearl Harbor hit?
He's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was at the very end of the year, too.
Bro, 4 years is quick, especially now with social media. Like, think about when social media came out in, like, 08 to 12, the change. And then think about 12 to 16, the change. And then think about 16 to 20. Like, every 4 years, there's so much change. And shit's moving so quickly. It's like, bro, 4 years
and it's
is
all
quick
because
as
of the
fuck,
accessibility,
bro.
Dude.
Yeah.
Really. Like, you... And it's not even... It could be even for bad. Like... Even back to one of the topics we like went over before, like with music.
Yeah.
Like that being something that how'd you say it? Like promotes doing bad and stuff like that.
Right,
like,
right.
I look at my little brother and his friends group and like just stuff like that and just you're like, dang, bro, like it really look at even the little kid that's rapping now and smoking. It's like, bro, that is a 6-year-old kid, fucking 7-year-old kid. He's already smoking backwoods and like. Like the accessibility to like all the information we have now, it's making kids smarter, but probably not in the best direction they need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I guess you wouldn't even say smarter. It's just like accessibility to the information of like whatever you want now.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad. It's good because like, oh, you can do all this stuff, but then it's bad because it's like, what are you really gonna do it for? Like, are you gonna be a scientist? Even like, there's all this stuff out here that like you could study to be a scientist, but it's like, nah, I'm gonna study the streets and just fucking do this, or like just something that is, I'm gonna fucking be a cashier for the rest of my life, just shit like that, you know?
Yeah. No. Or you can play Gran Turismo and then turn. But hey,
no, there's not even that anymore, bro.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can still do that. Play Call of Duty.
No, yeah, but it's
Call of Duty. You get recruited real quick.
I feel like that has died down a lot too.
What's
like,
that?
Gaming and like especially competitive gaming. I feel like it's died down. Like obviously it's still there, but like it's not as a sought thing anymore. Like it's dope, but I don't think it's as like.
Do you think video games will ever go away?
No, I think it was the new sexy thing. Like at first, like everyone thought they could compete with video games, but then the people that were really good went to the top, and the market kind of settled. Yeah. And now there's like a new flashy, because like for a while, like the internet was first, and then like gaming came and gaming online came, and that was like the new shiny thing. Now social media is like the new shiny thing, and like
it's like content creating. Like,
there's no
that is like the only like.
Well,
that is like the base of everything.
And consuming. If you're on TikTok or Instagram all day and you're like consuming all this content, there's no winners or losers. Yeah. As much as like gaming, you could see like there's clear cut winners and losers.
Whoa, wait. With social media?
Yeah.
There's no losers or.
you might become a loser by just like being on social media all day for like years and years and years, but it's not like clear cut at the time. Or like you're in a Call of Duty gaming lobby or 2K or whatever the game is. Right after you lose that game or that match, you're like, all right, you see right with every match or every round that you're like not good and you eventually quit. But like if you're on social media, you might be on social media for years and years and years, wasting your time and wasting your life and becoming a loser. But you're not seeing I'm a loser every day.
Well, that's the thing. There actually is. There was a study that I think it was Facebook that withheld information about that there was proven evidence that teenagers were getting depressed because of social media.
Well, yeah, but it's not like like I said, if you're playing Call of Duty or whatever video game, you see you lose every match or whatever. But like social media, if you are on it for 2 or 3 hours a day, at the end of that day, you're not saying like, oh, you lost this much of your life or like you're this much more of a loser. You're just like,
I don't think people. They don't
see it that way. So that's why.
Though.
Well, they do with video games.
It's kind of the same thing, though.
If you play a video game,
I love gaming.
Not everybody plays video games,
yeah.
but everybody's on social media.
Exactly.
Not everyone's on social media.
Do you think more people are on social media or video games?
But the point is, video games, the results are cut and dry. Whereas
but I'm
social
just
media,
saying,
the
like
results
not
are
everyone, like not everyone's on social media.
My point is,
most people.
But my thing is this: like social media does.
Because I'm off some social media. I'm on social media, but I'm off some.
No, but there was already a proven study that, like you said, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg specifically said they were aware of it and they withheld it from the public because they didn't want it to.
Right, so there's no clear cut thing when you're like, you might look back and realize it, but you're not going to realize it as quickly.
Yeah. But again, like I said, it's like what I said earlier. Hindsight is always 20/20. You know what I mean?
But I'm trying to, if you know better at the time, you can do better. It's the whole know better, do better thing. It's like, hindsight's 20/20. But if I know about the mistakes I made, or I see someone else about make a mistake, and I tell them, they can at least say, okay, I know this is bad for me. I can still choose to do it, or at least I know.
Yeah.
I at least want you to know. So like if
But when you're 12 and 13, it's social media. You don't see it as, bad or good. You're on there, messaging your friends and having a good time and stuff like that. But then when you're scrolling through it and you see people flaunting the success, and most of those people that are flaunting the success are frauds. Yeah. You know what I mean? It can, to you get like, damn, like I'm
so
not
if you know better, should you do better?
Yeah, of course. But if you don't know at the time, then it doesn't mean anything to you.
Yeah.
So I social media, dude, like I said, it's one of those things where it's a catch-22. You know what I mean? Like most of my news that I get is from social media. I don't turn on the TV, to watch the news. I get it straight from Facebook or wherever. Yeah. I feel like there will come to a point where social media will become obsolete. We'll move on from it to
something worse.
Something worse or something better. Who knows?
No. What's getting better in life?
You would have to literally get rid of like internet.
What's getting worse?
To be
what's getting better in life?
And like, but I'm not saying that would completely benefit us. But you know what I'm saying?
Technology's getting better. Cars are getting better.
Are cars getting better?
Yeah, no. They're getting more gas, or you're getting more miles per gallon.
No, they're not.
They're not?
No.
You think the older vehicles that were doing 10 miles a gallon?
They are, but in the past like 20 years,
look at
how long have cars been getting 30 miles a gallon?
I don't know. How long have they been?
So I mean, honestly,
bro, they're not getting better. There's no cars.
Don't even get that.
It's rare to find a car that gets more than like 40 or 50. Like you think by now we'd have a car that gets 100 miles a gallon.
Yeah, they probably have some. But
it's like it's not the majority. It's like one or two outliers.
Right, but same thing could be said about the vehicles from back then. There wasn't a lot that had 30 miles a gallon vehicles back in the day. Now they're probably more.
I mean, but even now though, like the cars still have like
so slight,
15 to freaking.
I mean, if you're driving 20, a V8, that's all that. Yeah,
what is the average miles per gallon of a car? It's not fucking 80 or something like it should be. It's crazy. It's still like 25.
It's literally like between.
It's still what it was 20 years ago.
I will say this: the lowest right now will probably be like 15, 17, and it's gonna be like a truck or like a fast car,
right?
Or potentially fast car,
right?
To the highest being like. I barely see him go over 30s now, bro. Yeah. It's not even 40 or like it's like 33, was like 35. In the past.
The improvement over the last 20 or 30 years, the improvement of miles per gallon has been like negligible.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I feel like more cars on the road now probably are better mileage than they were back then.
But when you say like cars are being made better, are getting better, I don't think so. Like
technology's not.
It's getting better, but it's like the side effects of it are worse on us.
Like
most of the side effects, like
because
social media,
like put it this way,
making us lazier.
Yeah,
for a while, any car, for a while, Josh, any car past like 2018, you couldn't even find parts for that hoe. You couldn't even get them from the manufacturer. Like, hey, bro, we need this part to fix this car, and it's like, bro, we don't even have that yet.
Yeah,
it's like
some cars are getting made with cheaper parts too. Like,
and
Donnie's truck, they're trying to. He has to put stuff in it just to make it go right. He has to put the blue fuel in it to spray shit. And they made it with aluminum now. Just all dude, nothing is made better now. Everything is worse now.
But they do that literally because I don't really like Ford, but Ford made pretty good diesel trucks in early 2000s. Like first, like that time span, they're like, hey, dog, y'all have to give us a truck that people will bring in to fix because we haven't had any mechanical issues with this truck. So they're like, okay, let's make a shittier truck. Yeah. Like literally because they were having like, it's for them to control the money.
The original question was, is things better now? I used a vehicle because I think vehicles are better now than they were back then. I said technology was better, which it is.
It is.
It is, but it's
more advanced.
Everything about technology is making us worse.
Yeah.
So like, even though it is better, I'll agree with that. Everything that's better about it is making us worse.
Yeah.
In terms of
just everything. But can you name, besides cars and technology, anything else that's gotten better?
Yeah, I mean, I think housing is. I mean,
housing is worse.
No,
you're telling me these windows that are that are nicely energy efficient, they're not helping a little bit?
Those are, but like the walls, the insulation, the wood, everything else is cheaper. Windows might be the only thing that's better.
Yeah.
Like most of the stuff.
I mean,
have you seen a stud?
But it's made cheaper.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures on Facebook where they show a stud from like 40 years ago and then like 30 years ago, and then now the 2x4s keep getting smaller?
Here's the thing.
So a 2x4 is not even a 2x4 anymore.
That's true.
It's like
I was in a property in Gerald, and I got in the attic, and I could feel it bend. And this is a new build. I felt it bend under my weight. I'm a big guy for a little dude, but this was significantly, like in the houses that we've been in, like the remodels, like the older, like 70s and 60s, you can feel that, the beams are straight.
Yeah.
This one was like bending, and it made me nervous. I still did it, but I was like, this thing does not feel.
Not for sure, dude.
Nothing's getting better because we don't want to have the hard truth about anything. We lie the comfortable truth about anything. Or the comfortable lie about everything. We don't say the hard truth about anything. No one wants to have their feelings hurt. No one wants to do the hard thing to get better. Everyone just wants easy.
Yeah. It's like, it's not even about like quality or quantity anymore. It's just like, easy.
Yeah.
Let's push what we got.
So how do we change it? What do we do?
You have to start telling the truth to people.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that
really,
anymore.
bro. It just comes. I mean, everyone has to be on the same page and just like love and grow with each other. But like that's a lot. Obviously, it's easier. No, it's a lot, but physically, it's not.
People have to be forced to accept the truth, or else.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you don't accept it on your own, you will be forced to one day, and that will be much worse. Yeah. So accept the truth, or else. And God and nature is going to decide. You cannot lie to nature.
Right.
So you can try all you want, but you can't fucking force. You can't lie to nature. If there's a hurricane coming your way, you're like, no, it's not coming. Guess what? The hurricane's still gonna come. If you say, I could go on all day, but like, you cannot rewrite nature and what the fuck is right. So you can try all day long, but the more and more you do it, and the longer you do it, the more it's gonna hurt. When that snap back to reality, it's gonna hurt more when you're more disillusioned from reality.
Speaking of nature. About those tidal waves over in Cali, dude.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Do y'all believe in global warming or no?
Yes.
You do? What about you, Logan?
Bro.
Where's the evidence?
I mean, we had a pretty hot summer.
You mean winter?
No, I'm talking about this past summer when it was like 100 degrees.
I mean, I know we got the highest it's probably been, but like
it didn't
feel crazy hot, but this winter has been really warm, bro. I've gone outside in just basketball shorts multiple times.
I don't know. This winter I haven't felt anything yet. That's kind of like made me concerned yet. But normally our more intense winters are going to be like in February. And that's when we have those frozen trees that bend all over the streets and all that stuff. But like as far as global warming, like for instance, earlier I made that point about China, how they're like, you really can't see anything. Like, there's no visibility. Sometimes in Austin, I kind of see that being an issue, too.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Okay. Global warming.
Yeah.
How much do you think, because it's global warming is like caused by pollution, right? Almost.
It's a
mixture of
factor.
everything.
Yeah,
It's
Well, okay, so what percentage does pollution play into that?
a lot. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say like a lot, but it's definitely.
Well, that's what they harp on because
it's advancing it.
if it was something we couldn't
more
control, it
rapidly
wouldn't
than
be
we
it
expect.
wouldn't be a thing. But they keep on pushing like global warming, global warming. We're polluting. We need to stop polluting.
So
stop
nature
global warming,
already
right?
does it on its own. If a cow farts,
But
it
the
goes
reason
to
it's a big
Arizona.
deal is because we're adding
We're
to
expediting
right?
it. We're expediting
How
it.
much?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the stats in front of me.
Okay,
But
so
you
I would
can't-
like to know that. And then,
Mhm.
okay, so for one, it's already happening naturally. We're just helping it some. How much of the pollution that's helping global warming? What percentage of that is citizens of the world, and how much of that is governments and corporations of the world? So if you take up every country, every government, and every corporation, and total all their waste, and then all just civilians of the world,
Right.
what's the percentages? And I guarantee you it's going to be outrageous, like 80-20. So all these governments and corporations are being like, global warming, y'all need to drive cars that are better
100%.
and this kind of shit. Y'all need to change. It's like, no, motherfucker, y'all need to change.
Yeah.
Because y'all make the gas cars that we fucking drive.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are the ones who are polluting most of it anyway.
Yeah.
We could have had water cars if y'all didn't buy the patent and make it to where no one could use it. Don't want to talk about that, do you? No, you just want to talk about how it's our fault that the world's fucked. It's your goddamn fault. Fuck you.
Yeah.
We need to hold these people accountable. Enough of this,
Yeah.
If it's going on, it's because of the government. And the people that are trying to wag their finger at us, it's really them. So it's like, if it's true, it's you, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's like victim blaming.
I don't know. I feel like us as a society, we're pretty shitty to the environment too, though. We can't pretend like, oh, well, we throw away the trash and this and that. How many times we've gone to a place and there's shit all over the road, on the sides of the street? That's not a government. That's us literally throwing shit out the window.
Yeah, but is that stuff polluting the friggin' atmosphere, global warming, like they say?
No, that's us driving.
Oh, I know, but is that affecting the environment in such a negative way like they think?
Like,
it's really not. It's
or
disgusting and it's not good to litter, but like, is that really affecting global warming?
Possibly.
So they're making it seem like, oh, it's bad to litter. It's like, yeah, but that stuff's dust to dust. That shit came from the earth. It's gonna go back to the earth.
But it doesn't go back to the earth like overnight. Some of the products that we have takes forever.
Yeah.
So in essence, yes, it does create an issue with becoming a pollutant to the earth.
Yeah, but people littering is not the same level as these corporations dumping.
Oh no, 100%.
I mean, that's what they try to shame
What?
us. It's like, bro,
Have you not seen like that? What's that one? It's like a river in India that's totally pollutant. They have like waste. They dump their waste and everything in there, dude.
who does?
It's in India. It's either India.
Who
maybe
dumps it in there though?
the people that live there. It's not the government.
I'll Google it right now.
Are you sure? It's not
Yeah,
the government?
yeah. It's like the people. Yeah, it's totally. It's same thing with like in New York, the Hudson River. That's polluted because of this. I'm sure that there's corporations and maybe even the government that does it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just people being nasty and throwing just disgusting shit in there. That we cannot. Can we blame the government and all this stuff? Yes, we can. And maybe they are
It's
part.
the Yamuna River.
That's what it is. Where's it at?
It's in India.
It's in India.
Yeah.
But my point
It
is
used
this.
to be like crystal clear, and now it's
Yeah,
freaking disgusting.
but my point is
Like,
this: is that
that's what it looks like.
yeah. But my point is this: is like we can blame the government and this and that, but at the same time, it's like we ultimately are also at fault for a lot of the stuff that we do. Is there a way? Can we come up with a better way of eliminating trash? Yes. Have we done it? We're working on it, but it's not. We don't have that thing yet. We still, as us as people, we still have to be like accountable for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when there's better options for cars and they suppress them, then whose fault is that?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously.
And when they can make things biodegradable and they don't, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
It's like they want to blame us at every turn. It's like you
But-
can't have all the power and none of the
God,
responsibility.
I wish I could move this mic.
You can't have all
but
the
the
power
government
and none of
does
the
try.
responsibility.
I'll say this: the government does try to do stuff to help.
No, they don't.
Did Austin not do away with trash bags?
I don't know how that helped anything.
Plastic bags.
That's what I meant. Plastic bags. Did they? They did it.
I don't know.
Maybe
If that,
paper.
I don't know what that even did.
It eliminated like you can't use.
It minimalized littering.
Yeah.
Like the fucking little plastic bags you see.
Yeah.
Like, corner
Like if you
stores
go
and stuff like
anywhere
that.
in Austin, you better have your own bag because they're not gonna. And if they do,
They make you buy it.
you make you buy it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they try
And
to
it's a reusable bag, so
Yeah,
like that's what's good about it.
There's
but-
some stuff, and then also, you know, they do the omissions on your vehicle when you get your vehicle inspected. They do omissions check just to make sure.
But so many people
yeah
don't go past that.
Yeah, but like I said, I think at some point, yes, the government is at fault. You know, they should have some responsibility as to how things are run, but it's there because of it. But at the same time, we have to, like you always say, we have to do better. We got to be better about how we do shit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
And like in certain areas, cars are different. Like California's emission stuff is way different than Texas emissions.
yeah. In fact, they're going to be doing away.
Like you
with,
have to buy.
They're doing away with fuel vehicles. They're going to go to electric. Now, is it better? Is it a better option? I don't know. But
you know it damn well ain't. Here's the thing though, if we litter on the side of the highway and stuff, like that only affects so much, and like it's there until it gets picked up or something happens to it. When these companies do their big shit, it's like it's not like the piece of trash is there until someone picks it up or eventually decomposes. It's like when they mess up, it has big repercussions. Like when BP, that oil just in 2007, that whole huge oil spill, it wasn't like, well, that'll just be down there until it degrades or someone picks it up. It's like, no, that fucked up the whole ocean for like many years. Yeah. And it's just like, oops, oh well. And it's like, no individual, no matter how much they fucking
that wasn't a government, though. That was a private company.
I know, but I grouped
with the corporation.
big corporations and the governments together versus the individual. It's like, if an individual litters his whole life, it's still wrong, but it could never even touch that thing where like, because it's on like such a large scale and it's in the ocean that it's like, and it's oil. It's like if you put a trash bag in the ocean, it could fuck it up. But eventually, theoretically, someone could get that trash bag out of the ocean at some point. It's like the oil, you can't like ever like. It's gonna take years for that to settle and like really nature to work its way out. You can't just extract that oil and you know what I mean. It's like y'all fucked up the ocean and that part of the world for like many years, and it's just like, oh well, oopsie. It's like. Maybe if it's an individual that throws a styrofoam cups out his window, he can go oopsie. But like when you fuck up the whole Gulf of Mexico, it's like, bro, that's catastrophic. Like, there's more weight behind their shit, and they never take accountability. They try to put all the accountability on us. Like it's like, people. Bro, we don't even have to have oil cars at this point. That never should have happened. Yeah, crazy.
I think hopefully in the future we'll do away with you know, gas powered vehicles. I don't think we're too far off in the future from it.
But electric's not the way to go because then they can control that shit super easy.
So what do you think?
Water. They've had evidence for water cars for like at least 100 years, but they just don't want it to come out.
The dude that like legit created one, they murked him.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen that, right?
Yeah, and I bet you could look up. I'm pretty sure one of the oil companies has a patent.
Yeah.
For a water car.
When I was doing
patents expired though.
Do they?
Yeah. In fact, Disney just lost their patent on
I'm pretty sure you can renew it. Shit.
But it's like grandfathered in, bro. Like you
no, because you here's the thing. You got like for instance, like Doritos. Their patent only lasted for so long before other companies can, like HEB has their own style of Doritos and stuff like that. But patents they run out of time.
No. Fair enough on that. But like, they can solely own that like idea forever. Like you're not gonna.
But why? But again, it goes back to what I was asking earlier. If they own that patent and they know it's $1 trillion idea, why not capitalize on it? Why don't they say?
Because water cars, anyone can get water from anywhere. They don't have a monopoly.
Yeah,
but the patent, the money's in the patent.
No, it's not. Once like you said,
or at least the idea.
Once the technology's out there, people can replicate it. Once the patent's up, they don't want
that's
the
why
idea to get out there and spread.
Like let's put it this way, bro. When I was working at the cabinetry place, there was an old man. This dude was like 60-something years old, and I was talking to him about something. I was like, bro, have you ever heard about the car that, like, they made a car that ran on water, and then this motherfucker was like, I'm working on one, but he's old as shit.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
well, that's my thing too. Why isn't there if it's that much of a solution, why isn't it done already?
It's hard
because they suppress it, dude.
Yeah, like Josh, if you went out and told someone, I'm trying to make
they suppress guns from people, and people still have guns. I want to hear the next argument.
Okay, if you tell someone that you're working on a car that's run off water, you are gonna be dead probably within that week. Like doubt it, dude. You were gonna doubt it, bro. You're going against so many. You're going against so many people that like. And these are high up people.
Millions of people. You're telling me millions of people in this country, in the world.
Yes.
And nobody's like.
And it goes back to being controlled with fear. It's going back to being controlled with fear.
They're okay with us having guns because guns kill people and inspire fear and are a negative thing. They like that versus this water car thing is only plus side. They don't want that.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Because, bro, people could have their own pawns. People could do all this other stuff. Like, okay, now I never, like, yes, I got to get this car probably from a dealership, but I will never have to deal with anything else in the whole, like, ever. It's like, no, you're gonna, like, you gotta have to come through us.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Fuel. You gotta buy the car from us. You're gonna buy the fuel from us. You gotta buy the batteries from us. You gotta buy everything to fix this car from us.
Sounds like Tesla.
Yeah.
But actually, going to Nikola Tesla, wasn't he the guy that wanted to create free electricity?
Yeah, and he had the ideas for it.
Yeah,
and they were like,
my thing is
like,
you know, when he died, who looked through all his stuff and gathered all his information and turned it into the government?
Thomas Edison.
No.
Who?
Trump's great grandfather.
Really?
I think it was Trump's uncle or something.
No, it was like
shit.
yeah, but like
whoa.
And here's
that I did not know.
No, here's another thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is what was said. Apparently, Nikola Tesla created a time machine. Like no, I know this sounds crazy, bro. But you don't know what he was doing. Like we literally don't know what anyone was doing,
bro. A time machine.
And then have you heard of there's the thing?
And there's it's even on record. The Trump's relative even was like he got to mess with it, and he's like it doesn't work. And it's like, bro, even if you knew it worked, I could tell you like, hey dog, it don't work. I'm gonna sit there and use it.
So you're telling me there's a possibility that there's an actual real ass time machine that exists that nobody knows about, but somebody does.
Yes,
dude, that would fuck up a lot of things, dude.
Yeah,
that's why it's, even like The Simpsons, bro, they predict so much stuff.
I don't believe that shit. That Simpsons shit, that's played out, dude. Maybe they got a couple right, but people went way out of hand with it. But
bro, they've gotten so many things.
No, a lot of this stuff is people they just did.
Some of it's a stretch.
Yeah, but dude, think about it though. If there really was a time machine, right? Let me ask you specifically: if there was an event that you would change, would you, and which one would it be?
No,
you wouldn't change nothing. What about you, Matt? One event. I already know mine.
One event?
And if you could, would you, and which one would it be? I'll tell you mine.
Go tell yours first.
Mine would be that call against Dez.
Oh my God.
Dez caught it.
Mine would be KD not leaving the Thunder.
Oh my God.
Nah. Oh, they would have won. They would have beat the Warriors,
bro. There's a.
But yeah, no, dude, that is wild though. And what's funny too is a lot of the sci-fi movies that if you watch from back in the day, a lot of the technology that they did in the movies and shows back in the day, dude, they're here now.
Yeah. Like, bro, think about the idea of Star Wars, bro.
Is it fiction, really?
Like
Is it though?
It was basically based off of like the space race, and then it was like, okay, we have lasers that can destroy stuff. That's really like how the idea of Star Wars probably came about.
I don't know, man. It makes me think like all the stuff that we watched back in the day.
We had propaganda saying that we had lasers that could blow up cars.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the stuff that we're watching now, like Interstellar. You know what I mean? Like where shit's like interdimensional. That shit could be a possibility in the next 20, 50, 100 years from now, dude. That'd be nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. That'd be wild, dude.
And like, because like theory of it's like how humans even like if we came from fucking an ape type shit.
Yeah.
The whole reason we got our like thinking process was because they just came across mushrooms.
I don't know if I believe that.
No, but like that's a fucking like that's a theory type shit.
Do you think aliens have helped humans like evolve at all?
Who knows?
No.
Something's going on.
Sounds weird.
I think we're part alien. We have to be.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Well, shit. Did you have anything else, man?
I mean, my uncles came across the border.
No, I don't think so. Really, this week.
I think that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That's a good.
Yeah.
Like
it's New Year's, fucking Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah. Do y'all have any New Year's resolutions? I know we just said against it, but
I'm gonna quit fucking fat bitches. No, I'm kidding.
He said, "I'm kidding. I'm still going." Nah, I don't. I'm hoping that this year is like this upcoming year.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm looking forward to like developing more into the trade.
Yeah. I feel you on that too.
Yeah, I feel like it has to, like, I actually got a notification from TDRL that I have to renew my thing in March, which I was like, whoa, dude, like, it's coming up.
In the year. Hell yeah.
And I'm like, shoot, man, I feel like I'm so behind. Not too much, but like I'm like, man, like I just need to really put my get my nose in a book, become more of a student and stuff like that.
And I feel you on that too. I need to do the same, and then I just want to better myself overall more. Like I thought I was, like I had already bettered myself, but I'm like, nah.
What's a personal one that you were gonna work on? Mine was.
I wouldn't say.
Mine was initially to stop drinking sodas and energy drinks.
I wouldn't necessarily say discipline, but I would say self-control. Not like necessarily like discipline, because I feel like I'm well disciplined, but like I could control things.
As far as like money or emotions.
Yeah. Really, not really money. I would say emotions and then situations. Like.
That's a good one, dude.
Yeah.
Even the fact that you have like that awareness of it.
Yeah.
That because some people do, they go through the whole lives without even
just keep fucking
they're just
repeat
so unaware.
And I really do need to get better with reading my Bible more.
Okay,
it's really just finding the time too, because it feels like the devil's always there, dude. It's like as soon as you try to open that book, it's like something's happening. You're getting a phone call, friends freaking trying to distract you. If you're all in the same room, it's like damn.
Yeah. What about you, Logan?
Probably the discipline. I think I'm gonna get back in the gym to help build my discipline back.
Okay,
and just fucking get my confidence back. I'm ready to fucking pimp a hole through the stratosphere this year. I'm ready to.
Yeah.
I'm ready to turn it up.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Super Saiyan 1 this year, and
I like
there's
that.
no turning back.
I like that right there.
I think another one for me, real quick, before I forget. When I say forget, like I would, but is to become more present in the moment, especially like with my family, because sometimes I feel like. My phone can
dominates your life.
Yeah, so like I definitely want to be more present in the moment and be there, and really just, if anything, man, try to kind of wean off of social media, which is tough because I mean we kind of rely on it for this.
I've done fairly well, dude. I feel like Snapchat was like the worst one. Like that one just keeps you engaged.
I haven't used Snapchat in a while.
Because like you use it for your friends. Bitches, etc., family.
My guilty pleasure is
even
Instagram,
news,
though.
bro.
That's what it is.
Instagram it's bad because it's just as bad as Snapchat. Yeah. It's the second one, and then Facebook. I feel like it just trickles down. I use Twitter because it's like a mini Reddit. Like everything that's on Reddit is on fucking Twitter now. Yeah. And then only thing I hate though, bro, about it is there's literally porn on every goddamn post.
On Twitter?
Like it could be it could be a freaking post about the war, and the bitch is like, check out my OnlyFans, look at my tits. A bitch posts her titties, and then it's like, look at my titties, look at my titties.
Can you shoot me those links so that way I know which one has to go to?
And it's like, look at this person being beheaded, and it's like, oh, look at me giving head, and it's like, bro, what the fuck?
No, you know another one is.
So you think?
What's up?
Well, this kind of goes like what we always go at, but like who do you think is more out of line when it comes to dating, the men or the women?
What do you mean out of line?
Like just who's more out of line? Like who like dating is fucked. Who needs to get why? Who can you blame it that it's fucked on more? Like who needs to change more, men or women?
I think.
Come on, bro. Women are posting titties in the comments of war things.
Yeah,
it's
like that.
It's not even a hard option at this point. It's crazy that you like. To me, it's crazy that you really have to think.
We're just
about
a lack of
so
much leaders.
Like who's
bro.
like who's.
I feel like.
Who needs to change more in dating?
It's
though?
both.
If you had to say one or the other, you had to.
Okay, I'm only saying this one because I just feel like men. But I'm saying collectively, they just need to be stronger leaders. Like like imprint that. Like like.
What do you think?
It's literally what I was gonna say.
You think too? Okay, if the men became stronger leaders, because here's the thing. I know men that are strong leaders. I know that are men that are strong leaders. They can't find a good woman. So it's like you say, if the men would make the change, the woman would change with them. It's like there are men who have made the change that are
I agree with you.
Like there are men who have made the change, and they it's hard for them to find good matches.
Just like women are just so tainted now, bro.
And I'm not. It's not like a.
I'm
not trying to down on women. I'm just trying to say like
it's just crazy that literally like every
women don't realize
every female has an OnlyFans now. Like even famous women that were already famous and already making money. It's like let me get an OnlyFans. It's like Why?
They don't realize how much power they hold. It's like you're the...
Because you're just degrading yourself in reality.
Yeah.
Like, I know you feel like you're live and people are paying you to see your fucking tits and shit, but it's like, bro, you could have just kept that to yourself and even had it more valuable.
Well, because what they don't realize when they do that is, like, when a man pays you for sexual access, you don't respect that man anymore.
Yeah.
So you think, oh, this is great. Like, I'm going to get paid for, like, relatively low and like, work and energy and investment. All I'm doing is putting up these nude pics and videos, and people give me all this money. But, like, what then happens is all those men who are doing that, you don't respect them. Because, like...
But do men respect women?
But that's a whole different argument. But the
I
argument
would say
is that
yes, because I feel like just based off like this ideology, we simp more for them. Not let's say like me or you.
That's
but
not
like
respecting. That's simping. That's a totally different thing.
But I feel like you have to respect them to do that because it's like
it's
like a bitch move.
Yeah, because if you don't respect them, you'll stop doing it.
Yeah.
After a while, probably.
Yeah.
It's an exchange. It's an exchange.
Yes,
you're getting this
but
show,
you're doing
but you're giving me
it,
money.
but
You
you're
don't have to
doing
respect
it.
somebody for that.
But you're doing it because you respect them though. Because like you could do it totally without doing it. You know what I'm saying?
No. It's a transaction. Simping is a transaction. That's what it is. It doesn't matter about emotions or.
But that's why they're doing it.
You're just like, hey, I want.
But that's why they're doing the simping though. Most of the time, I feel like.
No, not at all. Like when you're simping, dude, you're literally paying somebody for their time. That's what it comes down to. It's nothing about.
Why do they do it then?
Why? What do you mean?
Why do they do it?
Why do they do what?
Simp.
Because they're losers. You said it.
But why do they do it?
Because
they do it because they're losers. Why do they do it?
Do they respect the women because they do it? No. My thing is this.
What were we going off originally? What was
the question you asked was who needs to change more, men or women?
Yeah,
and
and
you
why do
wanted
you
us
think
to
it's
say
men?
women, but we said
why do you
men.
think it's men?
He just told you because men need to become. You said men.
But when there are better men, the women don't conform to them.
I mean, that's just the result of it. I don't know.
Women need to change just as.
And women pick who. Women pick.
More and be more, like,
women pick who has sex. So that really starts off the chain reaction of if you're having sex with losers or blah, blah, blah. And like how often you're having sex and all those kind of things really start off the whole game. Because a man can try to have sex with you all day. And if you don't do it, then no go.
I honestly, in my opinion, both need to change for the better. If I had to give it my, and it's
like
not,
we're not even saying like all women and all men are freaking
answer.
like this. It's just like
it's a cliche and an
the way
easy
that
out
society is
answer.
going.
It's an easy out to say, but it's true. I think as far as women creating the OnlyFans, honestly, dude, I mean, porn has been around forever. Prostitution's been around.
But the majority
forever.
of women have not done it forever, like now.
Maybe not, but I mean, it still doesn't change the fact that it hasn't been here already.
But it was the minority versus now it's the majority. That's a huge issue.
Yes, that may be true, but why is that? Because men are what? Simping.
Why do you keep wanting to blame the men?
I didn't put the blame on the men.
It
I
seems
just
like
said,
you are. Well, why is it? Because the men simp.
But is it a lie?
What about the men who don't simp? They cannot find a good woman. There's like no answer for that. It's like it's very rare and hard to find a good woman. It's easier to find a good man, and they can't find good women to fucking match.
What is
them.
a good woman?
Here we go again.
I know. I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Like someone who's not promiscuous.
Okay.
I think we know what a good woman is. You just are like so into this. It's like we never want to be hard on women and tell them they're wrong or they're not doing good. Or
I
like,
just said
women,
it goes both ways. What
yeah.
What
Oh, here's the other thing I was gonna go at. When a man is a loser and he's not getting money, he's not getting sex, he's like not even washing himself and staying home and play video games.
Yeah.
If he's not getting money, if he's not suitable for a job and not getting money, he's not gonna be able to have the lifestyle he wants. And his family is even gonna be like, dude, you're a loser. Like no one. And like if he doesn't wash and he smells, his friends will be like, dude, we don't want to hang out with you and play video games. You smell, you're a loser. And like he's not gonna get any women. Like when men are losers, there's negative repercussions like immediately.
Does he deserve to get rewarded with anything?
No, he does not.
Okay.
He deserves that.
Okay.
When women are losers, a lot of times they get to skate by in their 20s and 30s, and then the harsh reality that they were a loser doesn't come to their 40. So they're able to skate by a lot of years.
Like late 40s, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Yeah.
They'll be fat, they'll have a lot of unattractive qualities and not be able to lock down a man or a relationship, and then they are able to like just act like it's not real until they get to 40 and then or whatever, and then they realize. But it's like all those years they got the past because we're not hard on women. We don't tell them the honest truth. We just handle them with kid gloves and don't ever make them mad or cry or anything. It's like, well, when you don't tell someone the truth, it lets the problem fester. So now we have the problem festering. All these women think I can be so sexually empowered, do whatever I want. It doesn't matter. I don't I don't want a relationship. Don't need a man. Even though most women do want a man, deep down, they've been told by society so much that that's not true. They go thinking that they don't, and by the time they realize it's too late, so they do all these things, and then they get to the end and realize they were wrong. But it's like we need to be hard on them before when they can fucking affect it. Like now, like. We don't need to just not tell them anything. We need to tell them the uncomfortable truth. You're fucking up. Like, doing OnlyFans is fucked. If you do OnlyFans, you're not going to be able to have a family.
Yeah.
They think I can do OnlyFans and then I'll find a man. I'll quit. All these girls think I'll quit and change my ways and become a good girl and I'll find a man that will accept that. It's like, no. If you find a man that will accept that, he's a bitch. And it will take, it might take a few years, but eventually it will break down and you'll see that like a man that accepts that doesn't have his shit together and is not have his standards like set in stone, which is what women want a man that's like fucking rigid with his shit and not going to be, if a woman can change you, that means you're weak.
So let me ask you this real
what
fast.
A woman wants, that's
so a woman that has a history, let's just say she's promiscuous, but did OnlyFans and this and that. She has no future in her life, right? Is that what you're saying?
She has no future with a man that she wants in dating. It's not about her life is over as a human. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying in dating specifically, it is going to be damn near impossible to find a man that you respect that wants you, because the men that you'll find are like they're settling. Right. No man wants that. It's like the baby mama thing. It's like when they find a man that's going to settle for that, they know something is wrong with this dude.
So do you think that a woman with like
because boss hogs have it their way or the highway?
Mia Khalifa is a terrible example of it, but there, as far as like people that were in the industry, right? Do you think that they are no longer able to redeem themselves from that and try to make improve or whatever?
No, they don't deserve a good relationship, and
especially
a lot
like in the higher society.
I'm glad you said that.
They're so sexually traumatized. A lot of times they can't bond.
I'm glad you said that. So do felons? Should they be scorned for the rest of their life for the mistake that they made in their past?
Depending on which one.
Okay, well let's just say it's a nonviolent this and that. Like, do they deserve
like a POM?
Sure, or whatever. But do they? It's a felony. Do they deserve to be scorned for the rest of their life? Yes or no? Because in your view, from what you're telling me, they do not deserve
I think no, because they serve their punishment in time. These girls that do all this, they have their fun and they're doing all the bad things for 10 to 20 years, and then their punishment is when they get 40 and have to that's when they're doing their time for the said. It's like, no, you don't have to do this forever, but you wasted your prime. Now your prime marriage years from 40 to 60, you're right. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's like you significantly hurt your chances. Just like some felons, they might serve their time and then get out, and they still have a hard time finding housing, finding a job, finding a spouse because of that. So are they still being punished? Not straight up, but in a way, sometimes they kind of are. Yeah. So these women are getting their punishment, just like the felon who went to jail. They might have hard years where they're not finding someone, and they might eventually, but it's like, yeah, you're going to have to, the punishment's going to come.
So you're saying, so what you're saying is, it's possible to find that happily ever after, but when you do it, it becomes more of a challenge.
Yeah, because the women want men that are fucking take charge, leaders, and alphas overall. They don't have to be a super alpha fucking steroid, but like they want leaders and men that are gonna be hardened to the world.
Right.
If you do what a woman wants, we don't think of it this way, but they do. If you do what everything a fucking woman wants, or like especially do like a big thing that you shouldn't do that they want, like accept a sex worker, accept a woman with kids and stuff. Yeah. They know that like no man wants this. So the fact that you are taking this L, it's like they just know that they have the bargaining.
They have the leverage.
They have the leverage.
And then they can be like this. Like
it's like a small
thing. They can
be
like, okay, I just dated. We'll say that the person like that is a loser, just for like to keep it easy.
The man.
Yeah, the man that did everything for them. It's like, okay, I just dated
and
this
when we're
loser
saying
for 4
loser,
years and I use them for all the things that I have.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go find me a man.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like how they're gonna perceive it once you start doing everything for them, because it's like, okay, he's helping me grow and he's helping me do all this stuff, but like,
do you think a man that goes through that route though, a man that goes through a route like that where he's just running through women up until when he meets his wife, do you think the repercussions are the same or no?
No.
Why?
Men and women are not the same.
Why?
Because like I was saying earlier, when a woman gets pregnant, she's pregnant for a year.
We're not talking pregnancy.
But that's biology. That's basic biology.
Okay.
And women are more emotional when they have sex. women are more because it's easy for women to have sex and they can get sex super easy. They have to, just by nature, they have to be more selective with who they have sex with. And because of that, and women are more emotional overall, they have emotional ties more than we do when they have sex.
Right.
And biology made it that way.
I think, I'll be honest with you, I low-key think that's a lie.
It's not.
Because if you've ever been in a serious relationship, if you've ever been in one, hold on. If you ever,
that's
but
not
it's
just sex.
It's still the same.
That's not. No, it's not.
You said emotional, right? You said emotional. They gets emotional, right?
But he's saying overall. He's
with
like,
sex.
Yes. So when you get when you have sex with somebody that you're really with, that still fucking stings, right? Am I wrong or am I right?
What? Wait, what?
You said women are more emotional, right? When it comes to the sex stuff.
Yes.
Men are just turned off by that completely, 100%.
Turned off by what?
Like the emotional part of it. You don't
No. He was using that as that's the differences between men and women.
That's why it's worse when a woman gets ran through or when a woman cheats,
that's
because
a myth,
it's more
though.
emotional for them.
I think
it's
that's
not.
bullshit.
It's not.
No, I think that's bullshit.
No, it's
No,
not.
I think it's bullshit.
No.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit.
No.
If it was, women would sleep with a lot more men. They only sleep with a few men because they could.
Because they
women can't sleep with a
selected
lot,
that
but
man-
they're selective
like
because
like
it's
this.
more
I'm
important to
saying
them.
I'm saying that the man. What I'm saying is the myth is that women are emotional, sure, but I think men are also as guilty
when
on
it
that.
comes to sex, though.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Josh, put it this
How
way,
many
bro.
one night stands have you had? How many one night stands? How many one night stands has your wife had? How many one night stands has your wife had? How many one night stands has your wife had?
I don't know.
Way
Couldn't
less,
tell you.
I'd assume.
I don't
Right?
know.
Right.
Maybe
But,
not.
Josh,
Maybe
put it this way,
not.
bro. If a dude cheats, right?
Yeah.
He's doing it probably only because of this. Just because he's horny
Sure.
and.
But what happens? Hold on. With that
No.
girl that he hooked up with, right?
Yes.
If she goes and hooks up with another dude, is the guy gonna feel a little salty?
No, he's not
No.
gonna care.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know why? Because he's like that.
But I'll say this: if a woman decides to cheat,
Yeah.
she has already put emotion into that decision.
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay,
with
so you agree? Women are more emotional when it comes to sex.
What I said
There's
was
not even an argument here.
I mean,
hey, like I said, if y'all throw y'all's dick around everywhere, that's on y'all. But what I'm
Shame the
saying
men,
is,
shame the men.
hey, all I'm saying is this, dude. Like to me, like I get it. Like and I'm not the guy that's gonna be, having sex and
it's even with
crying
being
after.
friends, bro.
What's
like,
that?
It's even with just being friends, not even just sex. It's just like, but overall, they're just more emotional. So
As
they're
a,
gonna
as a
put more
guy,
emotion
I'll put it to you this way. I'll get down to the base of it.
Okay.
As a guy, right? When you do when you finally hook up with a girl, right? Even if it's just let's just say you've been there with a week, right? And you're like, okay, cool. You finally hit it, right? And you're thinking, oh, cool, I have exclusive to this person, right? And even if it's a one night thing, and you're like, cool, I got this thing going on. And then you find out, oh shit, she's talking to somebody else. That is a shot at your ego, because then you're like, dude, I'm not doing my thing on it.
Because when we think of girls, ours were territorial, but we're not automatically equating sex with emotion.
You don't think a strike to your
It's
ego?
because you were talking to that girl for a week and you thought y'all were exclusive. It's not because you banged her one night at the club and then she banged someone else. You're like, oh, it's because you, in that scenario, you were talking to her for a week and you thought there was some sort of exclusivity and then she went and fucked some other dude.
Right.
That's why you were mad. Not
But
if
we're
it's
talking about
just
based
sex.
off of like
just
first
sex.
time. Like if a dude cheats, he is not putting any emotion into that.
Let me
at
put it
all.
to you this way:
Hold on, hold on. If a couple breaks up,
Yeah.
and within a week the woman fucks a dude, and within a week the dude fucks a chick,
Right.
who does that look worse on?
Both.
No, it looks way worse on the chick, dude.
Yeah,
How?
they automatically.
They both fucked another person. Like what am I missing?
Yes, Josh, I get that.
It's literally like
But because women are entered and because they have the risk of getting pregnant with everyone, their body makes them tie emotion to it, and it fucking matters more when they have sex. They're just at risk of getting pregnant every time, so it matters more just off of that fact.
I think, and to me, and this is where probably
Here's the
we
thing.
all differentiate.
Men, when women have sex or open themselves up to being sexual intercourse, they are at risk of being raped way more than. It's harder for a woman to grape a man than a man to. It's harder for a woman to grape a man than a man to grape a woman.
Yeah.
So like it's all these things that, like, sex is so much more intimate and like different for a woman. It's not the goddamn same. Like that's one of the biggest lies we tell women in this time is that just like men, you can fuck whoever you want and it doesn't matter and you're just like a man. You're not. sex is gonna hurt you, and it's gonna hurt your ability to lock down that partner.
Yeah.
And there's even studies that show when a woman has more than 5 sexual partners, she has a very, very, very hard time locking down a long-term relationship.
That's
Men are
pretty
not
much
the same.
everybody right now. But
Y'all are hoes. Y'all need to do better.
But my thing is this again. Like I said, it's I think that's a lie. That the whole emotional thing with the
It's
guys
not, dude.
for guys, it's not emotional. I think that's a lie too.
Dude, I gotta
Even
piss
women
bad.
agree with that.
No, dude.
Where's the bathroom at?
Straight to the next to the.
Why do
front
you
door.
think that's? It's like anything that's pro man or reveals the ugly side of woman, you just don't want to hear it.
Straight towards the front door on the left. Okay. It's not that. And in fact, I've agreed with several of your points. Several of your points I've agreed with you on. My thing is that like I still like to think that, you know, that as a man, like, you know, we should be able to break away from like a lot of the stuff like this. You shouldn't show emotions. You shouldn't be, you know, you can't fucking cry, this and that. Like that type of shit.
Men are
dude.
taking huge L's in dating, and we're giving them.
Hold on. My thing is this: you're saying you're anti-man, this and that. The problem is that again, like I said, as dudes, we are told like you can't do this shit because you're not a man, this and that. And when you do shit like that, it fucks you up because you're like, man, I can't talk to anybody about anything. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to blue pill this thing out, but at the same time, it's like, dude, there's a lot of stuff that as a society we do not talk about men's mental health thing, right? Do we or do we not? It's not an issue, right?
And it still hasn't. Even with mental health being more of an issue, they still don't give a fuck.
Right.
So it's like this fake care. No one gives a fuck, bro.
But that's
And
the point. That's exactly made
And
my
they
point.
still don't.
Yeah, but it should though, right?
No.
You
Men are. God damn, dude. Like,
Tell me. I'm listening.
Oh, bro.
Tell me.
What solutions do you have for men? You tell me.
As
what
far as
solutions.
what? Give me a problem. And
You don't think men are in trouble right now?
I just told you yes. I said there's not. Is there an issue about mental health? Men's mental
So
health.
what's the solution for men to
I
get
think we
better?
need to talk about it. I think we need to talk
That's
about
it.
it.
That's the only just talk about it.
Shit, have you talked about it to somebody? Probably not. In fact, most men, what they'll do is they'll keep that shit in, right? And because that's the man
Well,
thing
that's what
to
you
do.
have to do is just talk about it. That's their only solution for men.
There's more. But my point is this: is like it starts with the conversation. But the thing is this: it's like this machismo thing where it's like, oh well, you know, men, and you can beat your chest all you want, but at the end of the day, dude, it's like at some point you got to go, man, like what the fuck am I doing? What is it? What is this? Like I think you even said before, it's like, what is the purpose of life? You know what I mean? And it's a fucking crazy. This life is a crazy. I told you last week, life is a fucking trip, dude. And for me, I find it hard to believe, like as men, like we can't be like,
Dude, as men, do we want to have our lives ran by women? Because that's what relationships are nowadays. Fuck that.
Okay.
Fuck all this feminine bullshit. And when it comes to dating, honestly, fuck women.
yeah.
Not on a human level, but when it comes to dating, fuck women. Y'all are fucking shit. Y'all are all shit when it comes to dating. Fuck y'all. Y'all ain't worth a fuck.
But
So I'm tired of men taking all these L's and then we acting like women are the victims.
Yeah.
Fuck that. There are situations where shit goes wrong, of course. But by and large, in general,
Yeah.
when it comes to dating, women are shit, and I will fucking stand on that.
and men are not.
No,
Men are not.
not as in large numbers. Fuck no. Are there shit men in dating? Yes. Are there just shit men in general? Yes. But like, there are more good men percentage-wise than good women when it comes to dating,
I won't-
specifically.
I don't know.
Oh,
have
I
the
do
stats.
for sure, bro.
I don't have
because
the stats.
because here's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, when men are losers, the world tells them immediately, and they either change to become winners or stay losers, and they get no benefit.
Right.
Women are losers, and they get to slide by for 20 years and think it's okay.
And they can't change or anything, right?
They can, but they don't want to, and no one tells them the ugly truth. We just tell them it's okay, and it's men's fault, and maybe men should change, and maybe men should just talk about it, and all this blue pill cuck faggot shit to make it seem like it's the man's fault. And dude, man up, self-improve, stop being a little fucking bitch, stop being depressed, get some fucking exercise, put your feet on the fucking earth, get out in the sun, stop playing video games and being online all goddamn day, stop looking at Instagram, get some goddamn exercise, and tell me you're still fucking depressed. It's bullshit.
And as far as the men's mental health, is that an issue? Yes or no?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
don't know.
You don't think that's an issue at all.
I think it's overplayed as an issue. They want them to come out and say, "Oh, men." It's like a. They want men to feel sorry for themselves. If you have a mental issue problem,
like
then pick yourself up.
There is a problem with the mental
dude. Get mad and fucking do something about it. Don't be a little crybaby bitch and think I got mental health issues. I need to talk to someone so they can help me. Help yourself, bro.
Yeah,
that's what being a man is about. Everyone wants someone to help them. Help your fucking self. That's why. It's like, bro. That's what red pill's about, like being a better man and improving yourself. It's like
by shitting on people, right? That's how it works. You shit on people, and then when you
be honest with yourself.
No. You shit on people. You go, hey man, you're not worth shit.
Honesty.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Honesty.
Fine. Okay, we'll do that. And does that make you feel good? Does you feel better when you do that shit?
You will when you fucking work hard to get the results.
I'm asking you. Do you feel better when you do that shit?
When someone tells me where I'm deficient and I work better and improve that, yes, I do feel better after that. Versus when they lie and then I don't improve, I feel worse after that. Okay. So it's like, do you want to feel good in the moment or long run?
Right.
It's like these girls, we lie to them and tell them there's no problem with all the things they do in their 20s when we could tell them the truth and hurt their feelings a little bit, but they might learn from it. Versus we lie to them and then they see the repercussions in the end.
Right.
Enough. It's like that with everything in this country. We lie about every goddamn thing and things go wrong later. We're like, oh, it's like, stop fucking lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not fucking hard.
Is it?
No.
Is it easy?
Yes.
It's that easy.
Yes.
If it's that easy, then why isn't everybody doing it? Let me guess, because everybody's retarded, right? That's what the answer.
Maybe most people just don't feel like me, but for me, it's so easy to tell the truth.
It's just been so imprinted that like, just like where we're going now. It's been imprinted. It's not like, it's not necessarily our fault.
I'll put it to you this way. I think as and this is again, like I said, this is where you're gonna get a little pissed off because it may be blue pilly for you. But I think as men, we do need to talk and have conversations about shit that's going on. You know what I mean? Like there's a you got to think outside of the physical body, there is a mental war that goes on throughout for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's easy to say, oh yeah, man up. You think if that was that easy, everybody would just like, you don't think everybody would do it?
Well, it's not easy, but
it's not. But he wants to be like, oh, you gotta man up, grab your balls and shit like that. Sometimes it's not that fucking easy. You just said right now that felons have a shit. You just said right now that felons have a hard time having a normal, realistic life, but it's gonna be tough.
But what do you do?
Right?
Lay down and cry about it, or push on?
You can.
You push on like a fucking man.
Yeah. But my thing again, like I said, it's like it's so easy to do that shit. Hey, dude, if you can't do that, sometimes hey,
you have two options: push on or quit. So. They're both hard. I'd rather be a hard winner than a fucking
Let me ask
quitter.
you this. Did you get through your life without anybody, any man specifically, without their guidance or help?
No.
You learned this shit on your own. All this shit that you've learned right now.
Did I do it without any? I said no.
You did it with help, right?
Yeah.
From who? A man, right?
Yeah.
Because why? It's like, dude, I hate that when for us to like talk about like shit, like, cause dude, there's like, you opened up about some of your private life shit.
Yeah. But I'm very comfortable with speaking about.
And most people aren't, you know what I mean?
But it took me a while to like become in tune with my emotions.
Why do they not open up? Because they don't want to get judged by some fucking asshole that's going to be like, well, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Fair enough. No.
And so, like I said, when us as guys, right, it's a fucking tough pill to swallow when you're like, yeah, dude, I had an abortion. Like, you know, it was, I didn't want to do it, but it fucking happened. You don't want to fucking spill your shit out to the people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Or, hey, I have a problem with substance abuse. No, that's not a fucking thing that you just want to post on Instagram or Facebook. These are fucking things, and I'm not gonna, you know, again, you even said it before. I need my friends to help me with shit like that. But I can't do that if you're gonna be in my fucking face talking about, well, fucking man up. How am I supposed to man up?
We're not like women. Women get sympathy for their problems. Men are supposed to fucking self-improve.
I get that, but sometimes it's not that fucking easy.
It is that easy.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. If it was, everybody would be doing that shit. You think everybody likes being depressed?
Well, not everyone. It's hard to be a winner. Not everyone's a winner.
Clearly, nobody can do better than the red pill guys, right? It's just fucking. This is the hill that they're on. They're in their fucking ivory horse, just fucking chilling. And what? We got to sit there and fucking. And what? It's again, like I said, I think people forget that there's other people involved with shit. Like, what I'm saying is people are not just fucking pounds of flesh just sitting there like NPC type shit. They're people with real emotions and that have gone through trauma. Yeah. A lot of the people that go through this little hoe phase and shit, maybe at some point they got molested by some motherfucker and now they have to suffer through the rest of their life, and the only way that they can cope is to do some shit. But nobody wants to talk about that shit, right? Because what? It's too fucking real and they're whores, right? I just want to make sure that
I get where you're coming
My
from.
point is this.
I've seen it happen before.
My point is this. Hold on. My point is this. We need to stop looking at people like fucking problems and like, oh man, dude, this guy's a fucking loser and shit like that. Like, I fucking hate that shit, dude. Like, I'm not gonna name anybody specific, but you know, there's people that like to bully people on their out of boredom and shit. Like, what the fuck is that? Are you gonna do that for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. Yeah.
No, you don't. Because
I get you 100%,
what I'm trying to say is this. It's like, at some point, like, we have to treat people like
I think we need bullying to come back.
Fine. Yeah. Fine, you can do that. But when you get on the receiving end,
I was.
No. Now, I'm talking about if you start getting bullied.
As an adult?
Yeah. You're going to be like, hey, I promise you get that shit.
Are we talking about like online or like what are you talking about?
In person, online, whatever.
Oh, we'll if you want to bully me in person, bring it on, bro.
That's fine. But my point is this. Like I said, I think as much as it is to be like, again, beat our chest, be the alpha male, this and that, I see what you're saying, and you're not wrong. But at the same time, I think there's fucking people that need to be treated like humans. You know what I mean? Regardless of their past. I mean, fuck, dude. Goddamn, how long are you going to hold that shit over people's heads?
It just says if you have a bad past, you don't deserve a fucking husband.
Then fucking kill them.
I didn't say they were bad people. I didn't say they were bad people. I just said they don't deserve a relationship of certain caliber. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. Doesn't mean they're worthless.
They don't sound like you're fucking helping them either. It doesn't sound like you're like, hey, uplifting type shit.
As a relationship in dating.
Yeah.
No, they don't deserve it.
Well, I mean, that's the consequences of their actions. I agree.
There you go.
I agree.
Yep.
But I don't think that, and I think you even said it, it's not, all hope is not lost. It's just, it's going to be tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox because goddamn, hey, these comments are going to get lit
Women
up,
need
bro.
to improve. Nothing changed.
So do men.
Men self-improve or they get hit with the reality. Women do not.
So do men.
That's the thing.
That's what
Women
I'm saying,
improve.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
You're going to be so sad in the future when like, bro. It happens.
Say it. Come on.
Whenever something happens with your marriage or with one of your kids, you're like, man, if I would have just heated the red pill shit more, maybe this, maybe that. It's like, well, it can hurt now or it can hurt later, or maybe things will be dreamy. But like with the majority of people, if they go the way things are going now, it's like it's not like it's hard to do the right thing and the good thing. And so like if we all just go easy and go with what society says and like the blue pill, like. It's gonna put a lot of men in a disadvantageous situation.
Right.
So.
Well, and honestly, dude, life is a gamble regardless.
That's the thing.
Life is a gamble regardless. But
I'd rather you go in there knowing
50-50.
the rules of the gamble and versus not.
It is.
Right now, men go into relationships not even knowing the rules, not knowing anything. When they're blind, thinking they're the same rules from 30 years ago when they're not.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, bro.
Yeah. No, dude.
I'll say this: my great grandparents was like the only marriage I know that lasts, like that I know that is like. Was lasting until they died.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've seen a man happy in a relationship?
They're out there.
But when's the last time you've seen it?
Probably today.
You see a lot of fucking happy women. I don't see any happy men.
I will say, even when you do think that they are happy, they'll probably tell you like
some little something.
Yeah, like he'll even say like, bro, you don't understand the hell that I went through to like to where the point that we're at, and like that's good for them, you know what I'm saying? Like they grew together, but it's just like there's probably less. Yeah, there's definitely less happier marriages than there are.
I don't know. I mean, excuse me. I think.
I lost like fucking train of thought.
No, it's cool. I think love is more rare than it was. We'll even say 50 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I think the love thing is tough. I think people fall in lust first because it's you
and
can't.
Then people have like.
They have
except for like a woman's gonna be like, oh, I know this person's family's wealthy, so I know he's gonna be wealthy, or he's gonna.
It's not even that.
No,
it's not even that.
But it's going there.
I think what happens is you go through the lust phase, and then you go through the honeymoon and this and that, and then over time you start to get to really know that person. And I don't want to say you fall out of love, but the love is not as, or not as the love, but the lust is not as strong as it was before, right? Because now you know each other's body, you know each other's bad habits, you know each other's strengths and weaknesses. And so ultimately, and I forgot who it was.
And you don't even have to be in love with. You can have love for someone, but you don't have to be in love with them.
I hate that saying, by the way.
What?
I love you, but I'm not in love with you. It's like I always tell Logan, I hate when people take a play on words by saying things differently. But
no, but like I feel that,
right?
Because like I love some, you know, like I love my friends. I'm not in love with them.
But there's different types of love. But my point is this: is like when you're in
that's
when
what
you're,
I was basically saying.
Yeah, no, when you're in a relationship, I forgot who it was. It was this lady. Excuse me.
Spare me something money wise.
She said that there's 3 different phases of love, right? So you have your first initial, like, oh, like you meet each other, things are great, this and that. And let's just say you're together for a couple years and then you get married, right? Well, over time, things like, you know, you said it kind of weakens and stuff like that. Then there comes a period where you start to notice that person, like, oh shit, you look at them differently and you're like, you fall in love again. Right? And it's that like, oh shoot, okay, like I remember now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's the end love where they're the old couple, like they're inseparable, and then when they die, they're like minutes apart kind of shit.
Yeah.
And that, again, that's not as common as it used to be.
Yeah, but
that's
probably the most purest form of love.
Yeah, but think about those relationships that you had when you got with somebody and you were madly in love and shit like that, and over time it just kind of it started to develop.
I never had one.
Well, it'll happen, but over time that relationship.
I think that happens more with men or women because women leave most marriages. So you're talking about like it's the same, like either one, but it's like most times that's the thing when we talk about relationships. A lot of times they talk about it like men and women are equal and like everything. It's like no, we're so unequal and like.
And I feel like a man will only get a divorce.
Like she has to be terrible.
Only if she straight up cheated. Like that's.
Well, I was gonna ask about if we could pull up the stats on the divorces, like when women file, but do they file for they're no longer in love, or is it because of infidelity?
Most of it's financial, but there's some infidelity. But here's the thing, it just goes back to like infidelity is just not as big a deal on the men's side as it is on the woman's side.
Yeah,
but I know they're not gonna fucking want to hear that.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you what, guys. This is
But here's the thing:
70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Yeah.
But what is it? What is it for? Infidelity, finances?
They're just
like
saying in general.
Yeah.
Like overall. Like,
yeah.
Here's the thing: because women are so picky, they need to like the man more than the man likes them.
Okay.
But we think, oh, it's equal, love's equal. We need to like each other equal. It's like no, bro. And the fact that when men can go and pursue other women, that lets her know that like he's attractive, other women want him, so there's something to this, and that keeps her thinking this is the best man I got. Right. Versus if he's just like they're equal and they're locked in with each other, she starts to think like, I got a man that's equal to me, like why can't I do better? And like all of these things start to slip in. But like the basic thing is because women are so selective with like who they give sex, they need to think that their man is the best.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, then they're like, oh well, like. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just starts to eat it away at them.
You know, the thing about like the red pill kind of stuff and, you know, all that is like, it's so easy for us to like, as men, like if let's just say we're top earners and this and that, like do that shit. But when shit hits the fan, like I wonder where that goes. Like,
there's still alpha males and shit. It just the money part won't play into it.
But then you're not an alpha male. Remember,
that's not the only equation to it, though.
But you said top earners are the ones that are going to be the ones to be more selective. So that's
not the only thing, though. That's not the only thing.
Right. But if he gets in a car accident and is disabled and can't do shit, then he's got a real big problem, right?
But that's not the only thing. It's not only money because there's people like Bill Gates and Elon who are simps that are not alphas. So money is just a component. It's not the. It's a key indicator, but it's not.
He's got a shit ton of kids. Elon can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but when your wife's divorced you and takes half your money and you're just a simp loser cunt.
And you're still a billionaire, I think it's still a win. I'm sorry.
No, nah.
I don't think you're an alpha male though.
You're not.
Like I'm not.
I'm not gonna.
That's the scenario, like you're saying. If all the money goes away,
yeah.
What will he run then? Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not a true alpha.
Yeah.
No. That would be interesting. That would be interesting to see. Like if you broke like these guys that were like top earners and broke them, to a physical level, and then also on the money, if they were able to recoup.
Yeah. This is how I look at it too.
Yeah.
Like so many, especially like the billionaires and people like that. Like, oh, I'm self-made, and it's like, no, you weren't.
See, and that's the thing.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, there's very little self-made. I've
heard millionaires, like if you take away the money, they will be able to recoup everything back in a year. No. Like if they have that mentality and that focus and that sharpness, they can get that back in a year. But that's what I'm asking. Like if that would define like an alpha male.
Yeah, it's like how many times have we seen that happen? I
don't know.
Yeah, I ain't even heard. Oh, I lost everything.
No.
And I came back and
that's hard.
I've been a billionaire 2 times.
Yeah. Well, I love this podcast, dude. This is episode 4.
Yeah,
and
watch
we're a
out.
month in, dude. And these are tough conversations, but they need to be had.
Yeah, that's what I like. We're actually like testing some boundaries here, dude, and testing like.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of responses
creative,
from different people that
say,
are. It's
just gonna grow. Watch
yeah.
next clip 5K. Run it up,
bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like this is pretty cool. I really do enjoy it, and I know the people that have listened to it, they told us, give us some great feedback, and but these are these are tough conversations, but they need to be had. Like you said, we got to tell people the truth.
I can't wait for the guests to start coming.
Oh yeah. Who, do you have any insight as to who we may have? You have a few can.
I don't know. Do you want to do it next time?
Are they ready? You think? Are you think they're ready, dude? I don't know, man.
We might do one more and then have a guest.
Yeah.
Not next episode, but the one after that.
Yeah.
We'll kick in the new year, and then we'll probably have a guest.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're watching this, comment, subscribe, like everything.
Hell, if you even want to be a guest, hit us up.
Yeah, we'll see. We
You
still
know,
got to vet. We got to vet.
Not everyone can just be a guest. But
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have interest and you want to discuss with us.
Yeah.
Tap in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, man. That's it for me.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Give us any tips, constructive criticism. We're trying to get better every time. And we'll see y'all next week.
You already know.
We out. Later.
Later.